Good evening, I'm Alistair Bruce-Bull. Welcome to the King Power Stadium on Radio 5 Sports Extra tonight with the 2016 Premier League champions Leicester stuck on the bottom of the table, just the one Premier League win in their first 10 games this season. They are hosting Leeds this evening, who are only 4 points above them at kickoff, having taken just 2 points themselves from their last 6 games after a bright start to the season with those early wins over Wolves and Chelsea. 4 games left until we break for the World Cup in a month's time, so both clubs need to try and put a little run of results together to pull away from trouble. The two teams are in the tunnel. The King Power Stadium is not full. Giant Leicester flags being waved all around the centre circle at the moment as Yuri Tielemans waits to lead the home side out. And let's say good evening and a warm welcome to the former Everton and England midfielder Leon Osman, who, like us all, with the fixtures coming thick and fast this season, has been a busy boy this week. A big game, Leon, for both of these teams. Both desperately need a win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're not talking the desperation with regards to the clubs for avoiding relegation at the moment. The season's a very long way to go, but there's a lot of pressure on both managers, I feel. The runs that their teams are on, you know, between the two teams, last 6 games, only 1 win between them. That's not good enough to propel your team up the Premier League, and in these days to keep your job. We've seen how quickly people are in and out of a job, so big game for both teams.
The blast of the hunting horn always signals the arrival of the two teams. I can see the Belgian centre-back of Leicester, Wout Faes, has spotted a familiar face in the crowd, just shielding his eyes against the glare of the floodlights and waving to whoever that may be. Premier League anthem will play, and then we'll be ready to go for your Premier League commentary here, starting on Radio 5 Sports Extra tonight, over on 5 Live at the moment. Fulham have quite recently taken the lead against Aston Villa. So Fulham lead Villa by 1-0, and Villa, like Leeds United at the start of tonight, sitting on just 9 points from their games played so far this season. The team news for you, as the two sets of players just crossed the halfway line and exchanged the handshakes, are 2 changes for Leicester. The big blow for them, obviously, was James Maddison on Saturday getting booked for diving in the 94th minute of the game against Crystal Palace. 5th yellow card for him. It means he's suspended tonight, so Dennis Pratt comes into the Leicester midfield. And Jamie Vardy, having started just 1 of the last 5 Premier League games, with Patson Daka being preferred up front, well, Vardy comes back in and starts tonight, although Harvey Barnes is the man who likes to score against Leeds. 5 goals in his last 5 games against them. Leeds show 4 changes from the defeat against Arsenal on Sunday. I saw that one. They were absolutely superb in the second half, Leeds. Very unlucky not to get something from the game. One of the big catalysts for change in the game was Patrick Bamford coming on at half-time, even though he did miss a penalty. Well, he's back into the starting lineup tonight. I think the interesting selection here, Leon, and you and I were talking about it before we came on air, is that Rodrigo is one of the players to miss out, but we could have potentially seen him sort of drop into the front 3 in behind Bamford, but 20-year-old Dutch winger Crescencio Somerville instead gets a first league start ever for Leeds, and Rodrigo's on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, the manager gets to see the players in training, so if he thinks Somerville is ready, then absolutely put him in the team. But Rodrigo has been probably Leeds' biggest goal threat, probably for maybe 9 or 10 months now. So yes, whether you feel Patrick Bamford is ready for that number 9 role, it doesn't mean you need to leave Rodrigo. I expected to see him moving further back with him, Sinisterra or Aronson, one of those roles. So to put him on the bench, yeah, raised an eyebrow, but you know, we'll see how the lineup that he's put out there performs in the first half of the game.
Made a change at left back has Jesse Marsh, so Junior Firpo makes a first start of the season. He injured his knee in a pre-season friendly against Blackpool, so has been unavailable pretty much up until this point. So Firpo is in at left back for Pascal Strapp. There's a change at centre back as well. Liam Cooper had started the last 3 games, the Scottish international, but Diego Llorente comes back into the Leeds team to play alongside Robin Koch. Somerville in for Jack Harrison. He's another one to make way. Bamford in for Rodrigo. Those are the 4 Leeds changes. The Leicester team sees Danny Ward in goal. Back 4 of Timothy Castagna, Daniel Amate. Johnny Evans is still unavailable because of injury. Wout Faes, the Belgian, the other centre-back, with James Justin as left-back. Wilfred Ndidi, another key player, missing for Leicester at the moment. Boubakary Samare, the 23-year-old Frenchman, in central midfield. Dennis Pratt, Yuri Tielemans, Keenan Dewsbury-Hall and Harvey Barnes. As a midfield four, you would say Jamie Vardy through the middle for Leicester, who are all in blue, white trim to the kit, playing from right to left in the first half. We are underway, and Leeds United very pleasingly all in white. So we've got no stripes, no hoops, no sashes, nothing flashy. Nice and plain and simple on the kit front, and an early free kick to Leicester because Brendan Aronson, the American international, has been caught midway inside the Leicester half. Leeds have Ilham Meslier in goal. Back four is Rasmus Christensen, Robin Koch, Diego Llorente, Junior Firpo, Mark Roca and Tyler Adams, two of the summer signings in central midfield. Crescencio Somerville making that first league start for Leeds on one flank, Luis Sinisterra on the other, and Brendan Aronson, those three in behind Patrick Bamford. Both Bamford and Vardy, obviously key figures for their clubs, yet to score this season. Free kick curled into the Leicester penalty area. Soumare has it covered, and he volleys it behind for an early Leeds corner. Leon Osman.
Yeah, Soumare probably right to deal with that. There was a Leeds player just behind him. Maybe the free kick was just slightly overhit, which was a touch disappointing for Leeds so early in this game. Real opportunity to put good delivery inside the width of that Leicester City goal, but they have a corner kick.
Yeah, corner taken short. So here is Somerville, nippy, zippy little winger, playing in the black gloves, short sleeve shirt, and he's won another corner. Tried to drive a low cross into the penalty area. That was blocked. So Mark Roca comes over again. His first season at Leeds United, one of those players signed in the summer, joined from Bayern Munich. Lines it up to curl in a left footer if he wants to hit that. Or it could be Brendan Aronson, who's right beside him, but I think it'll be Roca. Aronson moves away. Roca curls that ball into the near post, headed away, drops down just outside the Leicester penalty area, and Aronson tries to head it to his right to get it back to Roca, and heads it straight out of play for a Leicester throw.
Yeah, there was a good defensive header inside that 6-yard box for Leicester City, but it was a very peculiar way they set up to defend. Every single one of the players was inside their own 6-yard box. Leeds had two unmarked players on the edge of the penalty area. Two players stood on the penalty spot completely unmarked as well. So surprised they actually tried to put that delivery as close to the goalkeeper as they did.
Leicester have given the ball away, and Somerville is on the move again. Plays it to his right to Aronson. He almost overran that, is able to keep it. Plays a little 1-2 with Tyler Adams. Then they try and slip Somerville in. Leicester intercept, they give it away. Adams plays to his left-hand side. Here's Aronson, 30 yards from goal. It's worked wide to the right. Christensen, who likes to get forward down that right-hand side for Leeds. It comes back into central midfield here. Adams, across to Llorente. There's Junior Firpo's first touch of the evening. He turns back into his own half. One centre-back to another, and now Robin Koch hits a ball down the inside right channel. James Justin heads that back into his own penalty area, and it just had enough on it for Fass to get it back to Danny Ward, who had to rather hurriedly clear. Headed forward by Llorente. Leicester appeal for a handball against Luis Sinisterra. What's the referee spotted there? Free kick. Offside.
Offside, yeah.
Offside.
I think it was against Jamie Vardy. I think it's a free kick to Leeds. Leeds have started quite brightly. They're moving the ball around quickly. Leicester are trying to press. I don't think the press is as strong as it possibly could be, but Leeds are comfortably keeping the ball. They've been in Leicester City's half. One or two opportunities to break through the lines, but happy to keep possession at the moment.
Fulham still leading Aston Villa by 1-0. It's as Leon was saying, it's too early to talk about a relegation battle, but in terms of teams that are down at the wrong end of the table, Aston Villa are another one. Like I say, like Leeds, starting the night on 9 points. Leicester start the night on 5 points, and after 10 Premier League games this season, that equals their worst ever start to a Premier League season. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. The other two times they had a similar start, and both times they got relegated. 4 minutes gone, first half. Leeds have made the brighter start. They certainly finished very well against Arsenal on Sunday, all over Arsenal in that second half, and couldn't find a way through. So Jesse Marsh has obviously made sure that his team pick up from where they left off. First bit of possession for Leicester. Slightly miscued pass by Tielemans. Oh, Wout Fass in trouble there. Somerville on top of him. He's had to foul him. Leeds win a free kick. probably about 35 yards out in a central position. Just got a bit panicky at the back there, Leon Osman.
Yeah, he'll do very well to escape a yellow card here, because Leeds had a big opportunity to get at Amarte, who was the last man there, as he brings Somerville to the ground. It was I should say, he just thought he had all the time in the world there, Faust, and it was Tillemans who gave him a pretty difficult ball to deal with as a centre half. It was bouncing around his knees. He took a touch, but then dwelled on the ball as well. Good pressure from Leeds.
Fulham 1, Villa 0 is a half-time scoreline. I can see via the BBC Sport website this evening. I also know that Arsenal beat PSV Eindhoven by 1-0 in a 6 o'clock kickoff in the Europa League. That their rearranged game, and Arsenal 12 points, 4 wins out of 4 at the start of that Europa League group. Aronson curls the free kick in towards the far post beyond Junior Firpo and behind for a Leicester goal kick. We'll keep an eye as well on the Women's Champions League scores this evening, in particular Chelsea away to Paris Saint-Germain. That kicked off at 8 o'clock, so a little bit ahead of this one, and at the moment is goalless. Arsenal with that fantastic 5-1 win away to Lyon in the Women's Champions League last night. Wout Faes drives a ball downfield, and Jamie Vardy was able to get onto this for Leicester, wide on the left, turns away from goal, comes back to James Justin. He evades a challenge. Dewsbury Hall is able to turns again. Good skills from Dewsbury Hall, 2 defenders on him, finds Justin wide on the left, back to Dewsbury Hall, cleverly lets the ball run across his body, and Aronson couldn't make the tackle. Sumare plays across the Leeds half. Tielemans on the right, Castagna in the bright green boots to Sumare. Tielemans chases that out wide to the right hand side. Good ball down the right, and here's Dennis Pratt, who's got a chance to get across into the box. In it comes. Dewsbury Hall can't get on the end of it. Somerville half volleys it away for Leeds. Justin is quickly onto that for Leicester. Tries to beat Somerville down the left, has done that, found Harvey Barnes. Barnes comes back to Dewsbury Hall, and Aronson chases him back to the halfway line, and Leicester will have to build the momentum again.
Yeah, good play from Leicester City. First of all, the speed at which they moved the ball around, creating an opportunity for Dennis Pratt down that right hand side. I just thought maybe chose the wrong option when he got into that position. Should have maybe fired that hard and low across that 6-yard box. Tried to dink it, and Leeds just able to defend it, but Leicester responded very well and won the ball back quickly, and they've still got possession of the ball.
Bright start to the game here on Radio 5 Sports Extra. 7.5 minutes gone. Harvey Barnes has got his work cut out to catch that ball down the left. He can't get there in time, and behind it goes for the goal kick. Quite a Belgian contingent in this Leicester starting 11. So you've got Castagna and Tielemans and Faes, and I saw them all exchanging the high fives with national team manager Roberto Martinez, who is here on television duty this evening ahead of the game. Brendan Rodgers has got the little notepad in his hand. First note getting scribbled down just 8 minutes into the game. 1 win for Leicester so far this season in the opening 10 games. That was 4-0 against Nottingham Forest here. They then followed that with the 2-1 defeat away to Bournemouth, where they led in that game and then conceded 2 goals quite quickly in the second half to lose it, and then a really pretty drab 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace, which I was unfortunate enough to witness here on Saturday. Meslier clears with his left foot. Not that I'm complaining about doing my job. I can see Leon chuckling away on my right hand side.
It's so hard, isn't it? It's so hard.
It's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. I think a lot of fans who paid good money to come and watch it would have felt exactly the same way. But this looks brighter actually from the start, Leon.
Yeah, from both teams. I think that they're moving the ball quite well, because I wouldn't say the press is poor. They're both trying to press a little bit, but they've shown good quality in possession. They've both showed a desire to get on the ball. Chris passing the surface looks immaculate. It looks like it's got that bit of crisp dew on top of it, where the ball will run very well, and the players are taking advantage of it. Tyler
Adams intercepts a Wout Faes clearance for Leeds. Rocker in the centre circle, turns away from Vardy. Back to Koch. Koch strokes a pass across the Leeds half to Llorente. Firpo is quickly under pressure from Pratt. So Leeds come back to Meslier. Mellier's off balance as he clears that with his left foot. Castagna jumps to win the header. The flag is up for an offside, I think. Where's the flag? Yeah, offside. So that'll be a free kick to Leicester inside their own half. 9 minutes played, and it is still Leicester 0, Leeds 0. So no Johnny Evans at the back for Leicester, which means Daniel Amate continues at centre-back. They've got 18-year-old Sammy Braybrook and 17-year-old Joe Wormleighton amongst the substitutes for Leicester this evening. Amate on the ball. Now Sinisterra closes in. Tielemans fires it to his right and finds Castagna. Castagna plays forward. Firpo blocks it. Actually comes off Castagna. Goes out for a Leeds throw.
That's an opportunity for Leicester City. I'm just seeing Rocker is screaming at Llorente because every time Castagna gets the ball, Firpo is going screaming out to him, leaving that left-back position and perhaps making a run from central into that position. Llorente's not wanting to go over. Rocker feels exposed, so I'm sure Leicester City will try and use that as the game goes on.
Danny Ward with his left foot hoists a clearance high in the air. Christensen underneath the header. Ball spins off his short shaven hair and goes out for a throw into Leicester inside their own half on the left. So it's the one win for Leicester, just the 2 wins for Leeds so far this season. They came in the first 3 games of the season. They had 7 points after 3 games. Beat Wolves on the opening day at Ellen Road by 2-1. Drew away at Southampton, were 2-0 down in that one, got it back to 2-2, and then thumped Chelsea by 3-0, and everything was rosy in the garden. It's been a bit trickier since then. Ball comes across to Fass striding forward to Harvey Barnes. Barnes, first time ball to Dewsbury Hall. Vardy, very nearly found Barnes. The pass came at pace and Barnes couldn't control it, just sneaked away from him and goes behind for a Leeds goal kick.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate though. Harvey Barnes, as soon as the ball was filtered out to him, he just injected a bit of tempo into the play, played it round the corner to Dewsbury Hall, who had a wonderful first touch, playing it into his own pattern, then reverse pass it to Jamie Vardy, who flicked it back to the onrushing Harvey Barnes. He just couldn't take it with him as he went, but good bit of play. And again, you mentioned before the game, through that man Harvey Barnes.
Yep. Here's Somerville. He's looked bright at the start for Leeds. Bamford's not had many touches, and when he's had one there, Wout Fass has come through the back of him and conceded a free kick. So he came on at half-time, did Patrick Bamford, against Arsenal on Sunday. Missed the penalty, but made such a difference. Had other chances where I think had he been at his absolute sharpest, I'm sure he would have scored. He just looked a little rusty and like he was getting back up to speed. But when Leeds get a fully fit and firing Bamford back, and here he is again trying to turn fast, feels he should have had another free kick, doesn't get the decision. Pratt runs into trouble. Leeds are able to come forward. They're looking for Bamford through the middle. Blocked by Soumare. Bamford appeals for handball there against Amate as he controlled it on the edge of his box. Tielemans then goes down in midfield. He doesn't get the free kick. Sinisterra trying to turn him from the left. Good challenge on him by Castagna. Castagna continues that chase and eventually knocks the ball out of play for a Leeds throw on the left. 0-0.
Good bit of play. I think both teams preparing to try and put the foot in, make tackles. The referee looks like he's allowing a few of them to go. He's not just going to pull up silly ones and inconsequential ones. So usually I always think that helps the game. I think it makes the game if the referee allows the players just to get on with it best he can.
Let's give him his due then. Let's give him his name. Peter Banks, our referee this evening. David Coote.
I didn't want to go that far.
Here's the video assistant referee. Christensen on the right, quickly under pressure from Barnes. Nearly gave it away, but the pass finds Tyler Adams. Adams looking for Aronson. Lovely first touch. Aronson slides it through for Bamford. Bamford onto this ball just outside the Leicester penalty area. Christensen, the runner outside him, whips the cross into the far post and just beyond Sinisterra, who was desperately trying to get there to get the final touch. Instead he has to turn and scramble and keeps that ball in play wide on the left. Back to Aronson. Aronson runs into Tielemans, times his challenge well, passes to Dewsbury Hall, and Dewsbury Hall strokes it to his right. No one there for Leicester, and it's a throw-in for Leeds on the halfway line.
Oh, big opportunity for Leeds United, that one. Come from great play from Aronson, skipping past, I think it was Faust in the middle of the field and releasing Patrick Bamford inside that right channel, and he did everything right. He held the ball up, played his runner Christensen on his right shoulder, and he just put too much on it. Didn't give any of those Leeds attackers any chance to get on the end of that cross. Far too much pace, but a good bit of play from Leeds.
Leicester 0, Leeds 0. Radio 5 Sports Extra here at the King Power Stadium. 14 minutes gone. Leeds building nicely inside their own half. Sinisterra now on the dribble, running at the heart of the Leicester defence. The pass is beyond Bamford, and Danny Ward sharply off his line, sliding on that dewy grass that Leon was describing, and is able to collect the ball for Leicester. Bowled out to Fass. He plays it on to Justin. Justin has to turn and come back to Fass on the edge of his box. Danny Ward is there for him, gives him a shout, gets involved in the passing move. Amate passes it back across the face of that Leicester penalty area. Come on, Leicester. Rings around the stadium. Jamie Vardy starts to make a run. He's got behind Diego Llorente, gets to that ball first. Dewsbury Hall making a good run in the box. So is Harvey Barnes. Christensen gets in the way and chests it calmly back to his goalkeeper.
Well, both number 9s are playing right on the shoulder of the defenders that they're up against. Harvey Barnes nearly gets in.
And Somerville now at the other end has got away from Justin on the right for Leeds. Stands Justin up, fires the cross in. Not the best delivery. Amate heads it away. Pratt flicks it on up to the halfway line. Llorente. First time ball finds Tyler Adams. He's right in the middle of the Leicester half. Couldn't see an option going forward, so comes back to the halfway line. Leeds work it to the left. Back it comes again to Firpo, across to Llorente.
Just saying though, both teams are playing with the number 9 right on the edge of the defenders, playing on the half turn, ready to run in behind the opposition's defence with a moment's notice. We've seen Bamford do it, we've just seen Jamie Vardy do it, and it's so exciting when you get in behind the defence and get
Rocker's lost it inside his own half, tries to win it back. Bad challenge on Vardy. The referee plays an advantage. Pratt's ball in. Harvey Barnes was there, but he doesn't need to put it in the back of the net because it's been done for him by Robin Koch. Leicester have the lead. Own goal from Leeds centre-back Robin Koch. He comes out to have a word with the referee. I think he's trying to claim for a handball, or whether he didn't realise the advantage was being played. Jamie Vardy's still down for Leicester, but Leicester have the goal. Leicester 1, Leeds 0.
Yeah, and you know, Peter Banks, it was a brilliant decision to allow play to continue. Rocker just getting caught on the ball. Dennis Pratt putting the pressure on him, winning the ball, playing it to Jamie Vardy, who was then fouled by Rocker, and there was talk whether the referee was going to pull it back, whether he was going to stop for a free kick, whether he was going to book Rocker. He allowed play to continue. Ended up with Dennis Pratt on the right outside, who plays a delicious ball with all that bend into that corridor of uncertainty in between goalkeeper and Koch, right on the 6-7 yards out. And he feels like he has to deal with it. Harvey Barnes is right on his shoulder. He has to try and get something onto it. When he doesn't get the right touch, finds it nestling into the back of his own goal.
Yeah, we said it once before in the first half. Well played, Peter Banks. Perfect advantage played. Jamie Vardy definitely fouled, but back on his feet. And Robin Koch felt he had to intercept that cross, otherwise Harvey Barnes was going to stick it away. We talked about Harvey Barnes' goal-scoring record against Leeds United. Well, he definitely would have had another one there. Now that is a brilliant turn by Rasmus Christensen to get away from Barnes, and then the pass away to the left, not good enough. Sinisterra was in space, and in the end Pratt gets a touch on it. Leeds throw on the left.
Yeah, I was ready to name the referee that after that advantage did very well, but it just annoys me that, you know, teams come and they play away from home or at home, and they're prepared to get on the ball and play. The strikers playing on the shoulder, getting behind, and then you get caught on the back like Rocker did, and suddenly your team's 1-0 behind.
Leicester free flowing again. Harvey Barnes, Tyler Adams back at him, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Adams made the challenge. The final touch hit Barnes. Barnes just stopped for a second and then wanted to move away at pace, but Adams too quick for him and made the tackle. Leicester 1, Leeds 0. Leicester desperately needing the win to get themselves off the foot of the table. As I said right at the start of the night, 4 games now, including this one before the break for the World Cup. Leicester away to Wolves, home to Manchester City, away to Everton in their next 3. Free kick conceded by Tielemans for Leeds, just inside their own half. And Leeds having to come from behind. Leicester lead them by a goal to 0. Koch was the unfortunate scorer, plays it to Llorente, cross to Koch. Koch with his right foot down that right hand touchline. Fast heads it away, Justin onto it, up the line towards Dewsbury Hall, tried to turn Koch. Koch's fouled him. Dewsbury Hall is down in a heap. Leicester get the free kick.
Yeah, just protected the ball well. Dewsbury Hall, as the ball came in from Tielemans, just got his body in between himself and Koch. If Koch wanted the ball, he had to go right through him, right through the back of Dewsbury Hall, and happy to take the free kick in that area of the field.
Chelsea's women have scored away to Paris Saint-Germain, the Women's Champions League this evening, so just over half an hour played there. PSG 0, Chelsea 1. Arsenal's men beaten PSV by a goal to 0 in the Europa League Second half underway at Craven Cottage. Commentary over on 5 Live. Glenn Murray, part of our commentary team at Craven Cottage this evening. Fulham lead Aston Villa by 1-0. Here it's Leicester 1, Leeds 0. Barnes back to Justin. Justin across to Fass, who has the very obvious look of David Luiz about him from a distance with the long flowing curly hair. Vardy is not going to give that pass up, and nor should he. He was the only one alert to it, but he's offside. But found space on the left, and the assistant referee sticks the flag up.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I love that of a striker. I'm just talking, I love the way he plays right on the shoulder. Yes, sometimes he'll be in an offside position, but on the odd occasion that he isn't, it's such a dangerous position to have picked up, and he's the perfect player going through in them one-on-one situations.
Crescencio Somerville is making his first league start for Leeds. The young Dutch winger has taken a knock and is down on his knees. He's got 2 of the Leeds medical staff with him, and seems to be catching his breath, shall we say,
I think he'll be able to run that one off.
Yes, yes.
It's just, as James Justin swings up the line, his foot, he plays the ball, and his foot just continues into the area that no one ever wants to be kicked in.
Well put, Leon. I was saying, I can't remember which game it was. I've seen it happen a lot in recent games, and it was Pat Nevin's great line on Sunday, because it happened to Aaron Ramsdale, and he just said the challenge have missed both legs. Which is a very good way to put it. So Somerville's going to be okay. Leicester leading Leeds by 1-0, and we're having a slight break in play. In terms of the Premier League commentaries coming your way at the weekend, Manchester City Brighton at 3 o'clock on Saturday on 5 Live. Chelsea against Manchester United, who were very impressive in their win against Tottenham last night. That is a 5:30 commentary on 5 Live. 2 o'clock on Sunday, 5 Live's commentary game. Their first one is Southampton Arsenal, and then Tottenham Newcastle is the offering at 4:30. But the other 2 o'clock games, Aston Villa Brentford is on Sports Extra. Leeds Fulham and Wolves Leicester, both those games are available to listen to online. Back underway here at the King Power Stadium, midway point of the first half, and it's an own goal that separates the two teams. Robin Koch diverting Dennis Pratt's first time cross into the back of the net, and Pratt ostensibly into this Leicester team this evening for the suspended James Maddison, so doing the creative bit for his team. Amate tackled by Bamford, who immediately gets the ball from Sinisterra, tries to get away from Tielemans, doesn't have that pace, Bamford, and Tielemans gets in, makes the challenge. Llorente chests the ball down, thumps it into Castagna. Leeds get the throw inside their own half on the left.
Yeah, Patrick Bamford still not happy, feels he was fouled by Tielemans in the way he took the ball. He just stepped across Bamford, and I did think he just got his body in the way first. You see, he just kicks across him a little bit and then takes the ball the other way. That was nearly a huge mistake by Amate, getting caught in possession in that particular position.
If that's Vardy at the other end, he's gone, isn't he, Leon?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's where, we're talking about Rodrigo being left out. That's Rodrigo, he's away as well. You want somebody with real pace at the top of the field, or certainly around him.
Yeah.
Patrick Bamford has a lot of qualities, but searing pace certainly isn't one of them.
Throw in for Leeds, wide on the right. Jesse Marsh, very active, as he always is actually on the touchline this evening. Brendan Rodgers' arms crossed. Tyler Adams to Somerville. Somerville back out to Adams on the right. They exchange another 1-2. Back it comes to the Dane Christensen, who plays it back to Koch. Leicester 1, Leeds 0. And Llorente into this Leeds team for Liam Cooper this evening. Across to Firpo. Firpo nearly ran into trouble for Leeds. Squirrels the ball back to Llorente. Across to Koch inside his own half. Forwards to Somerville. That was not a nice pass. Adams has lost it. Harvey Barnes slides a nice one through to Dewsbury Hall. Vardy has drifted to the left. Dewsbury Hall finds him. Vardy with the outside of his right boot tries to beat Christensen. Leicester have lost it. Adams is there, chips it up in the air, intercepted by Soumare. On to Vardy, loose pass from Vardy. Leeds have it. Aronson goes sprinting away inside his own half. Pratt slides in and misses with that challenge, and Junior Firpo's got space in front, curls the crossing, looking for Bamford, volleyed away by the Belgian Fass. And here's Rocker for Leeds, just 10 yards inside the Leicester half. Twisting and turning, chased by Pratt, keeps it. Firpo down the inside left channel to Sinisterra, lays the ball off to Aronson. Aronson again, busy, drives in field, comes back out to the left, and here's Sinistero, who's got Castagna backpedaling, looking for that 1-2 on the edge of the box. Sinistero shoots, big deflection, behind it goes for the Leeds corner. Leicester lead Leeds by a 1-0.
Yeah, they're bright though, Leeds. I mean, that was a really positive run, Junior Fairpole, but it came after good play again from Aronson, and that trio, Aronson, Sinistero and Somerville, are bright, they're sharp, they take the ball, they carry it well. Just haven't quite found the end product that Leeds need yet, but certainly look a bright trio.
Corner for Leeds. 20 minutes remaining in the first half. It'll come in from the left. It's whipped into that near post. Vardy gets a header on it. The ball balloons off his head. It stays in play, and Sinistero does really well to bring it under control. Low fizzing cross cleared, but Leeds have it again. Tyler Adams floats a diagonal. Brendan Aronson, it's beyond him, and it just bounces away and out for a throw into Leicester in their right back position.
Yeah, the idea was right, just too much power on that crossfield pass, but yet again Leicester defending with most players inside that 6-yard box. Leeds, if they're clever and if they're bright and they see it, could just make a stern pass to the edge of the penalty area for a one-touch finish.
Tyler Adams plays back to Koch on the centre circle. High ball to the left, Castagna heads it away, drops to Pratt, manages to feed it back to Castagna, trying to work in a tight space, gives the ball away. Amati's going to be able to clear that, slices it slightly, the ball goes straight up in the air. Vardy backs into Llorente. Llorente has 2 volleyed attempts at it, clears, Justin heads it forward, Adams heads it back. Simare tries to head it to Amate. It's all a bit scruffy and scrappy at the moment. Bamford on the turn, and then James Justin is fouled, and Leicester get a free kick, and they lead Leeds 1-0.
Yeah, no one could just get the ball down there for Leeds. It was bobbling, it was bouncing. Aronson could have just put his foot on it. Bamford may have had an opportunity. They look on the cusp of being able to create something, Leeds, rather than having actually done so yet. Leicester will be quite pleased with the way they've defended. Leeds haven't really had an effort yet, but I just feel Leeds just showed a touch more quality in that final third. Opportunity may come all right.
Clean sheets in the last couple of home games for Leicester. So there was the big 4-0 win against Nottingham Forest when James Maddison starred in that one. 0-0 against Palace on Saturday, where neither team did enough to score to deserve a goal. Castagna attacking down the right. Llorente comes across to cover it, plays it to Roca. Roca tries to turn in midfield, holds off Pratt. Firpo stabs the ball forward, cut out by Leicester. Applause from the home fans. Brendan Rodgers likes it too. And here's Tielemans on the ball inside his own half. Played to Fass across to Justin. Somerville quickly onto him. Up to Barnes, wide on the left. Barnes back to Justin, first time ball. Looking for the run of Vardy, but Vardy won't chase that one because he's got no chance of getting to it. And Ilham Melier, all in bright orange, Leeds French goalkeeper, is able to jog across his penalty area. Picks it up, drops the ball at his feet. Plays a slightly loose pass to his right, but Harvey Barnes had already backed off, so Koch was able to run onto it. Christensen starts to make a run down the right. The ball is too far ahead of him, and Danny Ward is able to control that inside his box at the other end. So 28 minutes gone, Leicester 1, Leeds 0, and still, I believe, Fulham 1, Villa 0. That game kicked off at 7:30. Commentary over on 5 Live right now. Danny Ward clears with his right foot. Vardy times the leap, but beaten in the air by Llorente. Ball runs to Simare. Simare finds a nice pass to Dewsbury Hall, looks up and looks for Vardy. Sliding clearance from Llorente, comes off his right boot. Christensen underneath it, heads it away rather riskily, didn't know where that was going, and Dewsbury Hall is onto it. Plays a 1-2 with Justin, although now Leicester have come back to the halfway line and Leeds have got bodies behind it. Tielemans sweetly struck with his left foot, lovely ball onto the thigh of Justin, one touch, then the cross comes into the far post, headed by Castagna across goal. Llorente blocks, and behind him goes for a corner.
Oh, that's a great bit of play. You could hear the crowd's frustration when Leicester City, when they were in a good area, chose to go backwards. Well, James Justin certainly didn't choose to go backwards. When the ball came back his way, he delivered a brilliant cross, real height and depth and pace about it, and in at the far side came Castagna, right on cue. Looked like he tried to head it back across for the Jamie Vardy tap-in rather than go for goal himself, but it was well defended by Leeds.
Coming up to half an hour played, Leon Osman with us on Radio 5 Sports Extra. Leicester 1, Leeds 0. Leicester looking to stretch that lead from this attacking set piece. Pratt. Short. Back it comes to Tielemans. Tielemans hits the shot with his right foot, comes off Bamford, and suddenly 4 Leicester players are having to chase Sinisterra back into their own half. Sinisterra still on it, up to the edge of the penalty area, tries to play one across to Aronson, comes back to Sinisterra, hits the bar. Curling shot, beautifully struck. Danny Ward was beaten, but it doesn't find the back of the net. Danger not over yet for Leicester. Christensen's cross is blocked on the edge of the box by Soumaré. Koch plays it to Adams on the right. 35 yards from the Leicester goal. Here's Rocker. Cross to Firpo. Leeds very nearly finding their equaliser, and it came from a Leicester attacking set piece, and suddenly Sinisterra was on his own.
Yeah, Leicester tried to be a bit clever and a bit cute with the set piece, and it completely exposed them defensively once the shot from Tielemans was blocked. And you're right, Sinisterra, he must have travelled 60 yards in possession of the ball. Got a bit lucky when the ball bounced back to him at the end, but it was a beautiful effort, and Ward didn't move and just watched it strike that crossbar. Very fortunate for Leicester City.
Leicester 1, Leeds 0. Koch on the ball for Leeds, inside the Leicester half. Plays it low to his right to Christensen, back to Koch. Leicester just push up and force Leeds back. Here's Llorente. Wide to Firpo, the other side on the left. Sinisterra, closed down quickly by Castagna, bumps into the back of him. Tyler Adams, back to Llorente. Up the channel here to Brendan Aronson. Christensen starts to make a run. Good switch pass from Aronson to Somerville. Somerville running at Wout fast. Right-footed shot is wide. Tried to hit that sort of Henry-like curler into the far corner by opening his body up. Just didn't quite get it right. But that's a couple of good chances for Leeds.
It is. Suddenly Leeds have got players up and around Patrick Bamford, running beyond him. It's a beautiful bit of play from Aronson. Again, just dropping into those pockets, getting on the half turn. A no-look pass to Somerville, who runs inside the penalty. He backs those Leeds defenders, Leicester City defenders, all the way in, opens his body up, and actually you expect to see the net ripple. Ward is a full stretch, can't get there, but just misses the upright. It's 2 big chances now for Leeds.
Jesse Marsh continues to talk after games about chances missed by his Leeds United team. That one from Somerville might just go down as another. A couple of players up there with him had he opted for the pass, couldn't get the shot on target. Wouldn't quite say the same about Sinisterra, struck that well. Unlucky to see it come back off the bar. Koch inside his own half on the right. Ball forward, intercepted by Justin. Justin then tackled by Adams. Bamford starts to make the run. He's run offside. Adams can't release it. Fass comes forward, slides in, makes the challenge, throw into Leeds on the right.
Yeah, both teams just guilty of getting caught in possession and giving the opposition a couple of opportunities. Leeds obviously were guilty of it for the own goal that Koch scored to put Leicester City ahead, and that's on 2 occasions now. Leicester City have been caught in possession and Leeds have been bright.
Now Leeds have lost it inside their own half. Played to Vardy by Castagna. Llorente, really important interception as Vardy tried to get it back to the Belgian. Dennis Pratt's just going to shepherd that ball out of play, puts his body in the way of the challenge from Firpo, and Leicester get a throw down by that corner flag on the right.
Or again, getting caught in possession, losing the ball deep into your own half, trying to overplay it. I understand playing, I understand moving the ball around the back, taking slight risks to suck the opposition into certain spaces, but you can't give your opposition such big opportunities to get at your own goal.
Great running from Brendan Aronson with the ball inside his own half, and Christensen is such a willing runner as well. Down the right, Somerville. Leicester were looking for offside, the flag stays down. Somerville! Ward tips the shot over the bar, then the flag goes up. It wouldn't have counted.
Well, it may not have counted, it may have gone to VAR, but good move yet again. And you mentioned it's that man Aronson, when he moves with the ball and travels, the Leicester City midfield can't get near him, and he just glides across the surface. I think that's close. I really do. That offside, it may have been, but it's a run that Somerville just tried to stay on the shoulder. Bend is running behind, probably weighted pass by Christensen. Goalkeeper made a good save, but Leeds will feel that they've had enough chances to get back into this game, certainly be on level terms.
Goes from bad to worse for Aston Villa. I'm hearing Douglas Luiz has been sent off at Craven Cottage. Commentary continues on 5 Live. Fulham lead Villa by 1-0. Villa down to 10 men, half an hour still to play. Leicester 1 up on Leeds here in our commentary game on Radio 5 Sports Extra, 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Pratt sliding, first time cross, Vardy's back heel, Dewsbury Hall, Harvey Barnes scores for Leicester. Brilliant one-touch stuff around the Leeds penalty area, and Harvey Barnes just loves scoring against Leeds. Leicester 2, Leeds 0.
Well, it's that man Harvey Barnes who'll get all the credit again, keeping up his very impressive goal-scoring feats against this Leeds United team. But Leicester are celebrating to a man. There's 3 or 4 pockets all celebrating with each other. That was a beautiful goal from back to front, starting with the goalkeeper Marty into Tielemans, moving it out wide to Castagna. Runners, Dennis Pratt, I mentioned it early in the game, him running into that channel behind Firpo. Once he gets in there, beautiful pass first time into Jamie Vardy. He flicks it round the corner to Dewsbury Hall. He flicks it round the corner to a completely unmarked Harvey Barnes, probably 14-15 yards out, online with the far post. Won't believe he's getting a chance presented to him like this, and he does what he's expected, strokes it into the back of the goal.
That is a brilliant team goal from Leicester. Barnes with the finish through the legs of Meslier. Pratt with the inventive sliding cross, and the understanding between Vardy and Dewsbury Hall. Whether he got a shout or not, I don't know, but Vardy knew he was there, backheeled it into his path. Perfect ball from Dewsbury Hall, and then Harvey Barnes with the putting celebration. So James Ward-Prowse always goes with the driver when he scores. Harvey Barnes walked about 10 feet from the corner flag and just rolled it into the middle of the hole.
Well, they acted like he put it in, but that looked like he missed from here.
I think he pushed it. Dewsbury Hall looking for the run of Vardy again through the middle. Leicester looking for more. So Leeds nearly back into it. 3 chances for them. Somerville missing 2 of them, although the flag went up for 1. Sinisterra crashing one off the crossbar, and now Leeds 2-0 down.
And that's what shows. I mean, Jesse March has mentioned his team are playing well without scoring, taking opportunities, and you know, if you've got people that can put the ball in the back of the net, it's such a big thing. It's the hardest thing to do in football, as they say. Leeds playing really well, creating chances, bright in possession, Aronson in particular, but if you don't score goals when them opportunities come, this is the Premier League, you'll get punished.
Leicester starting the night bottom of the table, in good shape at the moment. 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Leon Osman with us here at the King Power Stadium on Radio 5 Sports Extra tonight. We've seen Leicester score twice. Robin Koch own goal, and Harvey Barnes just now with the second. Firpo to Adams. Leeds have got to keep believing, got to keep playing, got to keep creating the chances, and I guess tell themselves that this Leicester defence have conceded quite a few goals this season. Aronson brings it forward for Leeds, up to the edge of the box, might go it alone here, gets underneath the shot and swings it over the bar. Leicester fans give it a big cheer, and that'll be a goal kick for them.
And again, just decision making when you get into that final third. Leeds had a player wide of Aronson, 3 players inside the penalty area ready for a delivery, and decided to go it alone. Yes, he's played really well so far, drops his shoulder, creates the space, but again, a very underwhelming finish from Leeds.
Leicester 2, Leeds 0. Win for Leicester would take them to 8 points, put them 2 points above Nottingham Forest. Wolves still in the relegation zone on 9, so there'll be 1 behind them. Villa are going to be on 9 if they lose tonight, down to 10 men and 1-0 down away to Fulham, and Leeds will be on 9 as well. Were they to lose this one, there'll be no win in 7, 2 points in 7 games for them, but still a fair way to go. Leeds playing it around inside their own half. Firpo down the line to Sinisterra. Sinisterra brings it back into his own half. Floated ball forward from Koch towards Christensen. Volley pass is nice to Somerville. Fass in with the challenge. Volley cross from Christensen across the Leicester penalty area. Castagna, not the most convincing clearance that. Adams heads it to his left. Leeds move in as a pair to try and win the ball. And Leicester play it back to Tielemans, and Tielemans happy just to clear upfield. Koch chests it down and side foots one here to Firpo. Firpo's ball, good to Aronson. Oh, accidental backheel pass into the box and goes through to Danny Ward. Fulham have a penalty. I'm here at Craven Cottage. John Akers, who's here doing the updates on this one for 5 Live tonight, is furiously scribbling down notes and keeping us in touch with what's going on. I think he's interested in that because I think he's got Mitrovic in the fantasy team who's bound to take it. So let's wait and see whether Fulham can get a second goal. Llorente, there's a trick there on Dennis Pratt, who's having a good night down the right for Leicester. He's won Leicester a free kick just outside the Leeds penalty area. Leon Osman.
It's that same run again. Castagna getting the ball, this occasion, opening his body up and just playing it down the outside shoulder. Junior Firpo, perhaps again making that run in there. There's nothing special about it. He's just seeing opportunity. Firpo's too far up the field. I'll make a wonderful run in there, play the ball. Firpo fouls him, and now Leicester have got a free kick in a dangerous area.
Yeah, it was Firpo with the foul, not Llorente. Did him a disservice there. It was Llorente who'd come across with the covering run. Can Leicester get themselves 3 in front before the break? Still 5 minutes remaining in the first half here. Tielemans gets ready to take, and Mitrovic has scored the penalty for Fulham. Leon Osman's obviously got him in his team as well. Fulham lead Villa by 2-0. Bad news for Steven Gerrard, bad news for Jesse Marsch at the moment. Tielemans with the free kick. That looks a little close to Meslier. It was. Meslier punches it away, and out it goes for a throw into Leicester on the right.
I don't know why goalkeepers don't catch those. I mean, that was as straightforward as it comes. It's not a great free kick. The goalkeeper doesn't have to move outside his 6-yard box. He's not stretching for it. It's coming right to him, face height. And for some reason he punches it, and Leicester City get a throw in and keep the attack momentum going.
Castagna waits to take the throw, level with the edge of the Leeds penalty area. Thrown in towards Dewsbury Hall, who's having an excellent season for Leicester, considering the sort of troubled start to the campaign for his team. Has started all but one of the games, played well here when I saw him against Palace on Saturday, and has created the first goal this evening as well. Leicester, of course, without Maddison tonight, suspended. Here's Fass on the ball, able to take his time, sauntering across his own half. Side foots the ball to Amate. Amate was hurried a little more by Bamford closing him down, but plays it back to the Welsh international Danny Ward. Out to Fass, Justin down the left to Dewsbury Hall. Barnes starts to make a run ahead of him. Dewsbury Hall nearly tackled, but keeps it for Leicester. Back to Fass. Fass floats a pass towards the right wing. Sinisterra is able to run across and head it out of play. Leicester throw inside their own half. About 3 minutes to go till half-time. At half-time, we'll hand you back to our coverage of Fulham against Aston Villa. So you'll hear the commentary of that for 15-20 minutes or so. Then we'll be back here for second half commentary on Radio 5 Sports Extra, and 5 Live listeners will pick us up once that Fulham Villa game is finished, and 5 Live Sport on air through until 10:30 this evening, at which time we'll switch back to more news and sport, with plenty of news to discuss in the world of politics today, yet again with the resignation of Liz Truss as Prime Minister. Here's Wout Fass running forward, sliding and then touching the ball with his hand, spotted by the referee. Free kick, Leeds in the centre circle. 2.5 minutes to play. Leeds desperate to try and get one back before half-time. Big week for them, really, having lost to Arsenal, this game tonight, and then at home to Fulham. They are at the weekend. If they lose this one, it becomes a really big game for them. They've lost it. Sumare to Dewsbury Hall. Harvey Barnes on the move quickly down the left. He's away from Robin Koch, and Koch brings him down. Now Barnes was wide here, and he was cutting in from the left, and Koch gets the yellow card, but Koch knew him and his team were in trouble.
Yeah, it was probably a good foul actually on Koch, because Harvey Barnes had skipped past him. He did everything he could to make sure that Barnes couldn't continue. Leicester City had 2 players in the middle. I think Llorente was in just a good enough position to say he could cover Koch in that moment, but again, Leeds getting caught in possession when they're overexposed, and Leicester City nearly taking advantage of it.
Free kick, Leicester. 7-8 yards in from the left, about 35-40 yards from goal. Tielemans gets ready to take. Daniel Amate says, hold on, I fancy getting involved in this as well. Wout Fass is up there. Castagna as well. Tielemans plays a low one and finds Barnes in space on the left. Barnes works it back onto his right foot, chips the cross into the box, headed away. Tielemans wants to hit that on the volley, completely misses it. Ball bounces behind him, he wins the header. It's played to the left of Barnes. Barnes will keep it in play. Barnes across to Fass. Minute to play in the first half, plus a bit of added time. Very satisfactory first half for Leicester. Leeds 2-0. Vardy on the run, looking for the back heel again into Dewsbury Hall. Didn't quite come off that time. Llorente with the block. Out it goes for a Leicester throw on the left. Justin wants to take it quickly. Leicester decide to hold on. Justin now throws it into Sumare, lets the ball run across him, shields it from Aronson, plays back to Fass. Fass across to Amate. Amate immediately back to Fass, who again looks to his right. Tielemans has dropped deep. Tielemans slides another ball to his right. Castagna almost let that run beyond him and out for a throw, just kept it in. Sumare back to Amate. Leeds having to chase, and Leeds having to chase the game as well, because they trail Leicester by 2-0. Board's about to go up. Our fourth official, Robert Jones, has it in his hands, and we're going to have 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. And it's quiet inside the King Power Stadium, but it's a sort of quiet of satisfaction at the moment, with the home team leading by 2-0 and keeping the ball well at the moment. Played back to Tielemans. Tielemans is in a right back position, uses his left foot to pass across to Fass. Fass to Justin on the left. Somerville in with a good tackle. Justin tries to win it back. Leeds have it though. Here's Aronson on the right. Justin back at him, puts a challenge in. Referee happy with the challenge. Aronson has stayed down, he's hurt. Leicester will keep playing. Barnes wants it. Barnes making a good run if Dewsbury Hall can find him. Barnes can't control it. The ball was right and Barnes would have been away. Yeah,
well, he just needed an extra touch in the middle of the field, Dewsbury Hall, to get it out his way, and once he did, the gap becomes smaller and he had to put more power on his pass, and because of that, Harvey Barnes just couldn't quite reach it and take it in his stride. But what Leicester City have done really well this evening, they've made run after run in behind this Leeds defence. They've stretched the opposition. It hasn't just been Jamie Vardy. Pratt's made an awful lot. Harvey Barnes is wonderful at them, and Leeds just haven't been able to cope with them.
Minute remaining then, just less. Added time at the end of the first half. Oh, they've given it away, Leeds. Dewsbury Hall couldn't find Vardy. Rocker just did enough to get some studs on the ball and accidentally diverted back to Meslier. I think those are the Leeds fans jeering there with their team conceding possession again inside their own half. They were very happy with the team's second half performance against Arsenal on Sunday. They've nearly given it away there again. Somerville's let it run. Bamford wasn't on the same wavelength. Sumare has it for Leicester inside the Leeds half. Plays it back here to Amate. Amate goes running across his own half. Tielemans likes to drop into that right back position, and then Castagna goes wider. Amate's going to use him here, and Tielemans lets the ball run through his legs. Nearly lost it to Sinisterra. Cleared by Danny Ward. Half-time whistle blows, and the boos and the cheers come from the away fans this evening. There was a bit of that from the home fans, the Leicester fans, on Saturday after the 0-0 draw against Palace. But from Leicester's point of view, Leon Osman, that was much better. They're comfortable at half-time. They lead by 2-0.
Yeah, they've been able to take their chances. I think both teams have had chances. I think both teams have been bright and played well in the opposition's half. But Leicester have been clinical. That second goal in particular was absolutely fantastic. But both teams have been guilty of giving the ball away. You heard the Leeds fans booing there. I'm sure they can't understand why their team keep getting caught in possession, keep giving Leicester City the opportunity to create chances, and yet don't mix it up. When they've played in Leicester's half, they've done well, yet they keep playing and getting caught in possession in their own half.
1-0 down, Leon, some good chances. Sinisterra hit the bar, sort of created that for himself, and that was a decent strike. Crescencio Somerville's had a couple of efforts. Flag went up for one. We think that would have been tight. The other one, with a couple of teammates to the right, he just slid past the post. Yeah,
Sinisterra's was very unfortunate, actually. An effort from distance. Maybe earlier in the move could have picked a pass to his teammate. It was an opportunity, but unlucky when he shot from distance. But you're right, that effort, that secondary effort from Somerville, he's got to score. And the game would be different if that had gone in. The Leicester City crowd may have had a wobble. The Leicester City team may have started to get a bit nervous that, you know, it's 1-1, but they went up the other end, scored a wonderful goal, and from that moment you saw the way they celebrated. Chest came out, they started enjoying the game.
First goal was a Robin Koch own goal, diverting that Dennis Pratt cross into the back of his own net. Had he not done that, Harvey Barnes would have scored. Harvey Barnes did score the second, 6 in 6 against Leeds, and that's why Leicester lead Leeds by 2-0 at half-time. So Leon and I will be back with second half commentary in about 15 minutes time. In the meantime, here on Radio 5 Sports Extra, we will pick up second half commentary of Fulham against Aston Villa in the company of Glenn Murray and Mark Scott.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, at the end of the day, whoever owns the football club, is their prerogative to choose who they want in charge, but I just tend to feel in general football managers don't get long enough to put their philosophy in, to to build something special. And when you do see longevity in Klopp and Pep, I mean, you inevitably see success. Like you see Brentford, Thomas Frank, longevity, success. I think it almost goes hand in hand, but like I say, it is the chairman's prerogative to be able to hire and fire who he likes. He's the owner of the football club.
Ole's ringing out from the Fulham fans as they knock the ball around. 2-0 up, 13 minutes of the 90 left to play. The game just petering out, really. Not much that Villa can do. Fulham full of confidence, style and swagger, and well, they just look upwardly mobile at the moment, do they?
See, you say the game's petering out a little bit, and I agree it is, and this would drive me crazy as a forward, because I would think this was a massive opportunity to boost my numbers. So I'd be waving my arms, get the ball forward, let's keep attacking. Why win 2-0 when you can win 4-0? So yeah, I was very much one of those that keep pressing that button and get what you can out of the game rather than sit back and manage it. What I would say is probably sensible.
No mercy, Murray. Here is Diop for Fulham. Now Tim Ream, who's knocked it short to the left-hand side. Robinson up the line. Kenny trying to make something happen. Dan James by the edge of the area, lays it off to Pereira. Pereira just lost his footing and then scooped across to centre field where Paulinho is. They're back on the way in Paris. John Southall.
PSG 0, Chelsea 1. That Millie Bright goal, the separation between the two sides, I think just more of the same from Chelsea in this second half. They've been really impressive so far tonight, and they lead by that goal to 0. And Mark, I think that Riverside stand opposite you, the capacity 8,650 if I remember correctly.
Top man John, that'll keep Glenn quiet for a bit after he was quizzing me about the numbers. John's come to the rescue there. Doesn't look like anyone's coming to Aston Villa's rescue tonight. 2-0 down, 10 minutes or so left to play, and a man light after the red card for Douglas Luiz. Up towards Mitrovic, who can stretch to get on the long looping curling pass that just goes beyond the byline and behind.
Yeah, it's one thing I've been really impressed with this evening is the triangles of the Fulham midfield, their one-touch passing to one another, their free-flowing movement. I think it's been outstanding, to be honest. They've at times Aston Villa have not been able to get anywhere near them.
Well, there have been chants of "we want Gerrard out" from some of the Aston Villa supporters. He will have to front up to the TV cameras and of course the radio microphones afterwards as well. Never ducks a question. He's been quite forthright in his assessment of where they are, said that he's prepared for a fight. He wants to fight on and get them out of a tough situation. Young with the cross to the far post, and the hit from Watkins is deflected behind for a corner. Took it on the volley. It was almost over his shoulder. Excellent technique from Watkins, and Robinson, I think, got the block on it to divert it away from goal and behind for the corner.
Yes, really good play by Ashley Young. Whips that ball in with his left foot. He falls over Watkins' shoulder on the far post. He gets a good shot at it, and it hits an unknown Robinson, who was actually trying to win the original header and flick it on beyond Watkins. Lucky for Fulham. Aston Villa just don't seem to be able to get any at the minute.
He was hoping it was Mrs. Robinson, but it didn't, and it's gathered by Bernd Lehner from the corner. Villa are making a change. Cameron Archer is coming on for them, recently back from illness, and he's on now. Cash tries to pick up possession in the full-back area. Here is Pereira for Fulham on halfway. Back to Ream. Now what a clean sheet now, Fulham. Just to round things off for Marco Silva's side, because that's been one area where they've struggled. They've not kept a clean sheet in any of their last 8 Premier League games. They've let 18 in across those 8 matches since the 0-0 draw with Wolves. They're 8 and a bit minutes away from registering a shutout tonight.
Yes, and as I can see, a couple of substitutions being readied for Fulham. It's Wilson and Vinicius, and I must say the strength in depth at Fulham is really, really good. I mean, to be able to bring Dan James on and the speed he possesses, and then look towards Vinicius to come on, who I was really impressed with when he was a Spurs player for that brief season. Then Wilson and Kearney. I mean, the depth in the squad it's very good, especially from a newly promoted Championship team.
Cordova-Reid for Fulham. Back into Kearney. Fulham still pinging the ball around nicely with just under 8 minutes left now of the game, leading 2-0. Mitrovic's penalty after Harrison Reed's long-range strike, and in between those two goals, Douglas Luiz sent off for a coming together with Mitrovic. We'll hear more about that later, I'm sure. Here is Leno for Fulham, just rolling the ball out from his penalty area, gets it back from Ream. It's also comfortable for Fulham.
Yes, it's almost pedestrian, the Fulham keeping it at the back, popping it into midfield, bouncing it back out to the centre back, and just here we see them passing through the fields, and Dan James spearing towards the heart of the Aston Villa defence.
Mitrovic scoops it across to the left. Here is Kibano. Are Fulham going to get a third? Kibano gets to the byline, gets it across, and it's in! It is a third for Fulham. Niskins Kibano will claim the credit. It may have gone in off a Villa player, but Fulham won't care. 3 goals, 3 points. Fulham 3, Aston Villa 0.
Yes, game over here at Craven Cottage, and they just haven't been able to get to grips with Kibano all night. He does a little step over, goes past Matty Cash, he cuts the ball back, and unfortunately for Martinez, he tries to save it with his feet. He comes off his instep and lands in the back of his net. And for me, the Aston Villa goalkeeper has been a standout performer for them tonight, but an unlikely mistake from him sees Fulham 3-0 ahead, and the camera pans to Steven Gerrard as he bites his lip and looks down, and he knows he's in for a tough press conference after this game.
Well, it came...
Oh, it was Tyrone Mings.
Villa player, yeah. He was trying to intervene. Cabano's cutback was not heading in at all, so that will certainly go down as an own goal, much as he won't want it to. There's no doubt about it. That is an unfortunate own goal off Mings that makes it 3-0.
Yes, it's a brilliant finish. Yes, I got mixed up there. I thought it came off the inside of Martinez's step, but no, it was Tyrone Mings dangling a foot out, and he puts it into an empty net and ends off what is a very, very disappointing night for this Aston Villa group.
Only out of the relegation zone on goal difference, and it's only 1 goal that they're better off than Wolves. So big weekend coming up, and a big game on Sunday between Wolves and Leicester down at the bottom of the table. One of those games on that bumper Sunday that we've got live for you across the BBC. To their credit, Villa fans still sticking around. They're not really saying much at the moment.
I wonder why they're sticking around. That's the question. Are they sticking around to support their team through good times and bad, or are they sticking around to raise their frustration levels after the final whistle?
It'll be interesting to see. He said that he heard the boos and jeers that greeted the full-time whistle against Chelsea at the weekend. What will the mood be like amongst the Villa supporters in 5 and a bit minutes here at the Cottage? Fulham leading 3-0 with Reed, a Mitrovic penalty and a Mings own goal. Pereira can't make a foray forwards on the left. Archer has it for Villa and has lost his way and lost possession as well, and then committed the foul, which has given Fulham the free kick over on the left-hand side. But this game is done. It's just a case of trying to get it over as quickly as possible for Aston Villa. Pereira is going to come off here. Marco Silva having a word with the youngster who's going to come on for him, which I think is Luke Harris. Big moment for Luke Harris then, as he comes on for what is the final 3 or so minutes of the game, and Fulham really just able to enjoy themselves at the moment and make the most of this wonderful position of power that they find themselves in. 17 years and 230 days old, Luke Harris. It's his Premier League debut. He did play in the League Cup against Crawley in August. He was subbed at half-time in that one. He could become Fulham's youngest ever Premier League scorer. Do you know who the youngest is for them at the moment, Glenn?
I don't. Fill me in. Give me another start. Give me some ammo.
Ryan Sessegnon is the youngest. Yeah, there you go. Just because you quizzed me on the numbers earlier, thought I'd chuck one your way as well. So, out for a throw to Aston Villa on halfway. Miserable afternoon for Aston Villa. Still no win away from home in the Premier League this season. No win away in 7 Premier League games if you go back across last season as well. It's going to be 17 defeats in 38 Premier League games in charge of Aston Villa for Steven Gerrard. Whichever way you look at that, it's not good reading.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't really like to criticise people when things are going bad. He's obviously aware that things aren't great at the moment, and I'm sure he's doing all in his power to fix them. It's just whether he's allowed enough time to be able to turn the tide at Aston Villa.
You were saying earlier, Glenn, time is something that is in short supply in football. People want things yesterday, don't they? And aren't prepared to hang around. And especially, you think, in the Premier League, when the riches on offer are so big and patience seems so short.
Yeah, listen, I understand it when you start talking about, are you going to be a Premier League team? I'm not saying that Villa are going to get sucked into relegation battle, but there's always 3 that go down year in, year out, and you just never know if a bad run of form and you could be involved in it, and the financial disaster that ensues after that is just so massive. And Aston Villa have recently just got back into the Premier League, and they understand better than anyone what it can do to the football.
Well, welcome back to the King Power Stadium here on Radio 5 Sports Extra. We'll gently fade away from the commentary of Fulham against Aston Villa over on 5 Live. We'll be moving to 5 Live shortly once that game finishes. Looks like a very tough night for Aston Villa again, and their manager Steven Gerrard, as we were hearing from Mark Scott and Glenn Murray. Here it's Leicester 2, Leeds 0. A couple of changes at half-time being made by the Leeds manager. Robin Koch is coming off, Liam Cooper's coming on, and Rodrigo has come on for Mark Rocker. Now, Mark Rocker plays in central midfield alongside Tyler Adams. Rodrigo coming on means we've got Rodrigo, Bamford, Aronson, Sinisterra and Crysencio Somerville all in the starting lineup for Leeds at the start of the second half. But Leon Osman, they're 2-0 down, they've got to chase it.
Yes, they do, of course. They need to try and make something happen. So it looks like, just from this initial lineup at the start of the second half, that Aronson is going to go and play deep alongside Adams, and Rodrigo is going to play just off the front of Patrick Bamford. So it's a very attacking looking Leeds United in this second half, but what they do need, they need to continue to try and create chances, but they need to take one.
So Liam Cooper now alongside Diego Llorente as the centre-back pairing. We shouldn't forget that Robin Koch was on a yellow card. There was actually a Leicester fan who came over to us at half-time and made the point that Koch made the challenge on Jamie Vardy when the advantage was played for the first Leicester goal in the first half, and that potentially could have been a yellow card as well. So I wonder whether Jesse Marsh is thinking about that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a point to be made there. Whether Koch would have made the second challenge if he would already have been on a yellow card, we'll never know. But I think he was right on the cusp of what the referee was going to allow before he may have had to leave the field. So it may be a wise choice at half-time from Jesse Marsh.
So Leicester 2, Leeds 0. Leicester unchanged at half-time. James Maddison suspended this evening. Danny Ward in goal. Castagna, Amate, Wout Faes and James Just in the back four. Boubakary Samare in central midfield. Dennis Pratt's done a good job on the right-hand side in place of Maddison this evening. Harvey Barnes with his customary goal against Leeds playing wide on the left. Tielemans and Dewsbury Hall alongside each other with Jamie Vardy starting up front instead of Patson Daka this evening. It was certainly a lovely back heel from Vardy in the move that led to Leicester's second goal. Somerville doing well down the right for Leeds, holding off challenges. Ball into Rodrigo, being forced away from goal. Back to Somerville, in it comes Amate, trying to stab it away, knocks it back to his goalkeeper Danny Ward, and Leeds complain that that was a deliberate pass back to Danny Ward 2 yards from the goal line. Amate's sitting on the floor, he sticks a leg out. That ball can only go in one place. What do you think, Leon?
I think they've got a point. I think when Somerville puts the ball across, I think the first touch from Amate just stops the ball dead, and then he panics and he just toe pokes it back to his goalkeeper, who, I mean, I think he has to make that pass because the Sinisterra is right on his toes. But the moment Ward picks it up, it has to be a back pass, it has to be a free kick to Leeds, and they're making the point to the referee, who we've complimented in the first half, because he did have a very good first half, but I think he's missed a big one at the start of this second half.
Ilan Melier is Leeds goalkeeper. Rasmus Christensen and Junior Firpo making a first league start of the season at left back. They're the two full backs. It's now Liam Cooper and Diego Llorente as the two centre backs. Brendan Aronson dropped alongside Tyler Adams in central midfield. Luis Sinisterra wide on the left, Somerville wide on the right hand side, and Rodrigo on to support Patrick Bamford up top. 3 minutes played in the second half. Harvey Barnes with speed, and the ball's gone out of play for a throw into Leeds on the right. He thought he was away and in on goal again.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, but what we've seen already is, with that double substitution from Leeds, is they've got such attacking talent on the pitch now that they'll be able to create more chances against this Leicester City defence. Started the game well, may have had a half an opportunity to score a goal, should have had an indirect free kick inside that Leicester City penalty area, but on the flip side of that, Leicester already have noticed they've got bigger spaces to run into as well, so I'm hoping we'll see more goals in this game.
Yeah, it makes for a very interesting second half, the way this is now set up. Castagna forward to Vardy, lovely layoff again from Vardy, just a neat first touch to Dewsbury Hall. Barnes on the turn just outside the box looking for Vardy, poked away, might drop for Aronson in midfield, wins the 50-50, Tielemans back at him, Aronson goes down, referee decides that was a free kick, Tielemans slides in, maybe got a bit of ball, got some Aronson ankle as well, so that will be a free kick for Leeds. I mean, if Leeds score next, you never know, the way Leicester have defended this season, it will get I mean, you were here on the opening day, weren't you, Leon, when Leicester were 2 up on Brentford?
I was, and Leicester were very comfortable for an hour of that game, with controlling it with such authority that I couldn't see Brentford getting back into the game, but Brentford turned it on its head and were wonderful, and because they got that next goal, and that's what Leeds need to think about, get the next goal and the game's there for them.
Just 4 minutes gone, second half. Radio 5 Sports Extra at the moment. Listeners on 5 Live will be joining us after Fulham against Aston Villa is all over. Last we heard, Fulham leading Villa by 3-0. Leon's pie has arrived just a little too late at the end of half time. It's just sitting there and it's just staring at Leon, and it's saying eat me, and I think I could be kind, couldn't I, Leon? I could talk for like the next 5 minutes.
But I think John Akers brought it just in time that I couldn't eat it, so I'd have to offer it to him.
Free kick given away by Crescencio Somerville for Leeds. They're trying everything at the moment, Leeds, to win that ball, to create a chance to get back into this game. He's just tried a little bit too hard. He's fouled James Justin. Free kick for Leicester in their left back position. It's
a foul, you know. It's unfortunate. If the referee may have not seen it, he would have been in a brilliant position, but it's positive. It's a forward run, it's a forward pass, the midfield getting up behind it, right in front of the Leeds fans, getting them off their seat. So I'm encouraged by the start Leeds have made in the second half.
Well, we're on Sports Extra. I should just point you towards a couple of winner-takes-all games in the T20 World Cup in the cricket on Sports Extra tomorrow. Early in the morning, 4:45 start for West Indies against Ireland, 8:45 coverage of Scotland, Zimbabwe, and then Rugby League World Cup action tomorrow evening on Sports Extra, 7:15 our coverage starts of Australia against Scotland. Dewsbury Hall slips as he tries to move on to a pass down the left. Llorente clears with his right foot, not convincingly. Good ball from Soumaré into the edge of the box. Vardy with his back to goal lays it back to Soumaré, but Leeds have won it. Oh, that's risky from Aronson. Backheel pass into space, and it's picked up by Leicester. Vardy with a backheel into the shins of Cooper. Tielemans slides in, and now Leeds come forward on the counter. Luis Sinisterra taken out by Boubakary Soumaré as you join us here on BBC Radio 5 Live at the King Power Stadium. No compunction from referee Peter Banks. Straight to the card for the pocket. Yellow card for Soumaré. Leicester 2, Leeds 0. Just over 6 minutes gone in the second half. Couple of changes made by Jesse Marsh at half-time. You may have heard of those from John Akers. Just to remind you, though, Liam Cooper has come into the back four for Robin Koch. But from the attacking point of view, he's taken one of his central midfielders off in Mark Rocker, and Rodrigo has come on. So Leeds are 2-0 down, and they're really going for this, and they've had a bright start to the second half, and they had their chances definitely at 1-0 down in the first half as well. Sinistera striking the bar, and the young Dutch winger Crescencio Somerville making his first league start for the club with a couple of efforts, one off target when he really should have done better. But they've got a free kick now, about 10 yards short of the Leicester penalty area. Leicester have a two-man wall in the bright blue shirts, standing behind that semicircular line of vanishing spray just outside the penalty area. Peter Banks blows the whistle. Curling ball in from Aronson to the far post. Cooper gets a header on it. Overhead kick. Blocked. Driven shot from Cooper again. Another block on the line. Leicester get it away. It remains 2-0. The other point we should make, Leon, about half-time, what happened on the half-time whistle. Leeds fans clearly very unhappy, weren't they, and voicing their discontent as the teams went back in at half-time.
Yeah, they were, because Leeds were playing most of the game in their own half and giving the ball away, giving Leicester opportunities to win the ball high up and get at their goal. But Leeds have started this second half right. It's a brave substitution Jesse Marsch has made. He's brought Aronson from the number 10 position deep to play alongside Adams, which has allowed Rodrigo to come on further up the field. It'll mean they're much better going forward, but it will leave them slightly exposed defensively, and it's so far it's made for an exciting second half.
Jamie Vardy has started for Leicester tonight, only the second time in the last 6 Premier League games, involved beautifully in the build-up for their second goal. Barnes, who scored that goal, has played a ball down the left, looking for the runner James Justin. Justin goes down, wants a free kick, doesn't get it. Throw in for Leeds. They are hurrying everything up at the moment, and they are going on the front foot. So if they get the next goal, then Leicester, given their defensive record so far this season, could get a little nervy. If Leicester get it, then it looks very tough indeed for Leeds. Flick ball over the top from Vardy. Tielemans runs onto it. Little chest control, runs away from him and goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, speaking of that next goal, how crucial it is. You know, this is a team in Leicester City and a stadium and a fan base at the moment that are desperate for points. They're desperate to get themselves up and running this season. So if Leeds were to get this next goal, I've been in this situation that the nerves creep in, whether you like it or not. You're winning 2-1 at home, but you just feel things are going against you, and Leeds need to try and buy into that.
9.5 minutes gone in the second half on 5 Live and Sports Extra, and of course available via the BBC Sounds app on both networks as well. Leicester leading Leeds 2-0. They've lost it though on the halfway line. Rodrigo sweeps the pass with his left foot to Firpo, Junior Firpo at left back, making a first league start of the season for Leeds. Sinistera, has he overhit that pass? No. He's killed it nicely into space for Christensen, who's got time to get his head up here, get the ball in. Bamford will attack it, he'll loop up in the air, and Danny Ward gratefully comes charging off his line and dives forward to catch it. He made a great save, Leon, in that scramble from Liam Cooper, so it was the overhead kick that was blocked. I hadn't realised how good a save that was from Ward to deny Cooper.
Yeah, well, he's been vital at the start of the second half. On this occasion, had to be quick off his line there. Amati did just enough against Patrick Bamford, but you're right, earlier save.
Bamford in on the Sinistera ball. Amate makes the challenge. Referee says corner. Leicester giving the ball away. Leeds have been giving the ball away so much in this game as well.
Yeah, it's been the story of the game. Both teams have found it much easier to create opportunities when they've won the ball high up, and you know, talking about that opportunity 2 or 3 minutes ago, double save by Ward. The first one was over a kick. Llorente was actually saved 6 yards out by Patrick Bamford, blocked it himself. So Leeds just struggling in front of goal up to this point.
Yeah, that's what Jesse Marsch has been saying in all the post-match stuff recently. Aronson's corner in, and that's headed over the bar by Bamford. He wants another corner, gets the decision. So some pressure building from Leeds. They're in all white this evening, just to try and put you in the picture. Imagine yourselves inside the stadium, all white kit, black trim, attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. King Power not quite full this evening. Few of those plastic blue seats visible all around the stadium as Aronson kills another corner in. That one right down Danny Ward's throat, so you hear the relief from the Leicester fans. They applaud all around the stadium. He's all in black, holds the ball high above his head, and Leicester all in blue with white trim tonight. And of course, if they win this game, they are off the bottom of the table. They will be on 8 points. Leeds, one of those teams, on 9 points. Aston Villa also on 9 points, having been thumped 3-0 at Craven Cottage this evening, as you were hearing on 5 Live earlier. If we don't get the post-match reaction to you on 5 Live before 5 Live Sport ends at 10:30 tonight. Will certainly be in the Football Daily podcast for you, available via the BBC Sounds app. Soumare, good run forward, weaving in and out of Leeds challenges. Space on the right, cross comes in, cleared by Christensen, only as far as Castagna's shot, that's blocked. Ball spins away outside the penalty area. Sinistera has a stab at it. Tielemans intercepts for Leicester, plays it to Dewsbury Hall on his left-hand side, to Barnes, nice one too. Dewsbury Hall, edge of the box, possibly might tee himself up for a shot, doesn't see the opportunity, uses Barnes again. Back to Dewsbury Hall, white shirts back in numbers, Rodrigo in with a challenge, and Christensen has it again in the right back position. Now that is a nice pass into midfield. Aronson onto Sinistera, Wout Faes came hurtling forward, and got a little bit lucky that he wasn't beaten in the challenge. Leeds pick it up again inside their own half. Somerville uses his skills to try and beat Tielemans. Tielemans sticks out a leg and fouls him. Free kick Leeds. Leon Osman.
Yeah, Leeds have looked bright when they managed to get the ball into the Leicester City half of the field. I've mentioned the 3 starters, Sinistera, Aronson and Somerville in particular, but now you add Rodrigo into that mix. Players that are so comfortable in possession of the ball, taking it, being on the half turn. But when they run without it, that's when they look the best. One of them has always got to make sure that they run up and around and beyond Patrick Bamford to give them something to really aim at.
13 minutes gone in the second half. Leicester 2, Leeds 0. Clever defending from Timothy Castagna. Knew Bamford was right behind him. Ran the ball down to the byline. Cleared it on the turn. Came off Bamford. And behind it goes for the goal kick. If Leeds lose tonight, it'll be no win in 7 games, with just 2 draws to show for it after such a bright start to the season, with 2 wins in the first 3 against Wolves and Chelsea. Firpo's penalised for a shove in the back on Dennis Pratt. The big worry, of course, for Leicester tonight, Leon, was that James Maddison out suspended. Pratt has come in on the right hand side. He's obviously a different player to Maddison, but he's been good, hasn't he?
Pratt's been very good. What's happened is Junior Firpo doesn't play in the natural left back position. He seems to play 3 or 4 yards ahead of the other 3 players he's playing alongside, the 2 centre halves and the right back. He steps in, and if James Maddison was playing, that'd be fine for Leeds, but Pratt's clever. He's making a run into that space in behind him every time, which is bringing across one of Leeds centre halves. You see it for the goal, the second goal, which was absolutely fantastic from Leicester City. Took advantage in that area.
Second goal was an absolute peach from Leicester. It was the cross on the slide from Pratt, the back heel from Vardy. Knew Dewsbury Hall was there. Lovely pass from Dewsbury Hall to Harvey Barnes, who made it 6 in 6 against Leeds. And here is Barnes in his bright green boots. Flicks the ball up, collects a rebound. Might have been caught there with a challenge. No, referee's not interested in that, but Soumare plays it out to the left to Dewsbury Hall. Back to Justin. Justin away from Somerville. Dewsbury Hall is there again. Ball across the Leeds half. That was a foul, wasn't it, from Pratt? He missed the ball there and kicked the man. He's fouled Brendan Aronson. Free kick to Leeds.
I think they both missed the ball. I think that's where the frustration from the Leicester City fans is. Aronson went to take it, but he missed the ball. It went through his legs and ended up then fouling, or then Pratt fouls him because Aronson missed the ball. So a bit of frustration. Referee could have given that either way.
Half an hour to go. Leicester 2, Leeds 0. Fulham 3-0 winners against Aston Villa, and Arsenal made it 4 wins out of 4 in their Europa League group this evening. 6 o'clock kick-off tonight. Beat PSV Eindhoven by 1-0 with a goal from Granit Xhaka. Last I saw as well, because my phone's given up the ghost, Chelsea's women were 1-0 up away to Paris Saint-Germain in the Women's Champions League. And I can see John Akers is hard at work looking to confirm that. I've been told that is still the case. So Chelsea 1 up, 15 minutes to go in Paris. Here's Danny Ward on the ball for Leicester. Takes a touch. Bamford closes him down, cleared to the halfway line. Firpo chests it down. Aronson's under pressure. He's fouled. Very stop-start. Last 5 minutes or so here at the King Power. Leeds get the free kick.
Yeah, in the first half, we discussed how the referee was trying to allow things to continue as much as possible, wasn't keen to blow his whistle. It's not been the case in the second half.
Good ball down the left from Firpo. Rodrigo, what a cross that is. Bamford couldn't get there, and it bounces up, and Justin basically hits him in the head and goes over his bar for a corner. Didn't know too much about it, but was in the right place to deal with it. Fabulous cross.
Oh, it's a beautiful ball, and it's just running into that corner, running in behind fullbacks again, but once he's in there, he whips it in with such pace. Bamford can't quite get there. Faust is panicking, flicks it up, and then Juster just reacts and heads it over the own bar.
Corner taken short. Leeds looking to get back in the game. Tyler Adams plays it across to Christensen, hits the curler, not good enough. Underneath it, over the bar, and the Leicester fans. Leno, another loud roar. Just the one win so far for Leicester in the league this season. That came here at home against Nottingham Forest, convincing Monday night win by 4-0. Jesse Marsh is looking at another change coming up shortly for Leeds. So it was a double change at half-time. Looks like Jack Harrison could be the next player on for Leeds, who was left out of the starting lineup tonight. 4 changes from the team that finished so strongly actually against Arsenal on Sunday. I saw that game. They were so unlucky, Leeds, not to get something out of it. Patson Daka is also waiting to come on for Leicester. Danny Ward with the goal kick. Right-footed, swings it out to the left. Christensen wins the header. Ball is loose on the halfway line. Dewsbury Hall, Barnes in loads of space on the left for Leicester, and Vardy's licking his lips and waiting in the middle. Barnes looked like he might have been tripped. No, fair challenge from Tyler Adams.
Yeah, great tackle. Harvey Barnes just eyes opened up really wide there. Thought he was running at Llorente 1-on-1.
Great run.
Tyler Adams came across brilliantly.
Yeah, great run from Sinistera. Outside of his right foot finds Bamford. Bamford looks up. He's just inside the Leicester box. Plays it in here to Rodrigo. Completely miscues with his left foot. Bit of an air shot. There were 3 Leeds players waiting for the cross from Bamford. This game is really opening up now as Leeds come forward on the attack. It's opening spaces for Leicester. Dewsbury Hall goes down quite easily there under a push. It was a push, but it will be a free kick to Leicester just inside the Leeds half on the left. Double change coming, so Patson Daka will come on for Jamie Vardy. So Vardy has had just over an hour's football this evening, and Nampalys Mendy is getting ready to come on for Leicester as well, to play in the Leicester midfield. Yuri Tielemans, the Leicester captain, goes over and gives Jamie Vardy a big pat on the back, and it's like for like in midfield. Boubakary Soumaré is coming off. He's the 23-year-old Frenchman in his 2nd season at Leicester now. Obviously they're missing Ndidi in that central midfield role. He'll be replaced by the short, stocky, speedy figure of Nampalys Mendy, who's a popular figure here at Leicester. So free kick Leicester. The lead Leeds by 2-0. We played 19 minutes in the second half. Bamford's coming off, and the Leeds fans don't seem entirely convinced. He is still working his way back to full fitness, and hasn't had much of a sniffer goal this evening, Leon.
No, and I think that's the reason more than anything else. I think you don't want to overuse him tonight as he's still trying to build up his fitness, and you know, you end up losing him for a bit longer than you want to. So they forgot Rodrigo will now go right up top. They did try and play them both up top for a short period of time. They've looked bright, Leeds United, in the second half, but again, as we just saw with that Rodrigo effort, Somerville getting in his way, to be honest, making it difficult for his own teammate, just not being able to get the finish.
Ball played down the inside right channels. Daka threw himself into a challenge with Liam Cooper. That was ill-advised at high speed, and Cooper's gone down holding his right arm as if he was caught on the elbow. Free kick for Leeds. Been a lot of whistle blowing and fouls and free kicks in the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, Leicester won't actually mind that though. You know, no. They can break this game up in the second half. I mean, Brendan Rodgers, if you'd have given him a 2-0 decision before the game, he'd have bit your hand up. Now, I know it would win them the game, but he'd be so pleased if his side could keep a clean sheet. That'd be 3 home clean sheets in a run.
Yeah, considering the problems they've had at the back this season, that would be huge for them. Aronson plays the ball back here to Llorente. Llorente goes for the diagonal out to the right. Castagna wins the header, so it goes out for a Leeds throw on the left-hand side. Throw taken quickly to Aronson. Leicester 2, Leeds 0. 25 minutes to play on 5 Live, the score this evening. Somerville to Christensen. Good run made by Adams into space in central midfield. Just stabs it forward to Rodrigo, who's able to turn. Half tackle, ball might run to Sinistera. Ward quickly off his line, does well. Brave goalkeeping for Leicester. Grabs the ball in both hands and exchanges a little high five with Daniel Amate. Here's Castagna. Castagna looking to use the pace of Daka. Long high ball. Cooper tries to flick it back to Meslier and just gets it there. We were talking about Paris Saint-Germain against Chelsea in the Women's Champions League. Latest from John Southall. Daka plays the ball in. sorry, John. Dennis Pratt has missed. Good chance for Leicester to seal the game. He's killed it wide. Continue. Thank you, John. Leicester 2, Leeds 0. Good chance, Leon.
Huge chance. Pratt, I know he's on his left foot, the ball's slightly behind him, but he's 12 yards out, on line with the post. Has to do better, but again, best chances coming from Leeds, giving the ball away in their own half.
Somerville on the ball in the Leicester half, which is where Jesse Marsh wants his team to have it. Leeds think they should get a throw. They don't get the decision. Throwing for Leicester midway through the second half. Leicester still leading by 2 goals to 0. Ayoze Perez is giving some instructions here before he gets thrown into the fray. Leicester take their time over the throw. Taken now. Daka hoists it high in the air. Ball breaks loose on the halfway line, and here's Castagna moving at speed down the right, chased by Aronson. Whips his cross in early. Christensen slices a right-footed volley clearance away. Somerville does well to control that, hold off his man and move at speed, and then drive a ball forward to Jack Harrison down the left-hand side. And Marte's trying to get there. Harrison curls the ball into Rodrigo. Awkward run for him. Fass is there, makes the challenge and knocks it out for a throw to Leeds on the left.
Oh, they deal with it pretty well in the end, and they're giving each other a chest bump, Amati and Faust there, because Leeds looked threatening, and it was brilliant play in the middle from Sinisterra initially. They released Rodrigo and Harrison. They nearly made it work. A little flick round the corner. Rodrigo inside the penalty area. Just couldn't keep his touch tight enough to him.
Leeds throw been scrambled away by Leicester. Leicester still leading by 2 goals to 0. Fulham 3, Aston Villa 0. Final score at Craven Cottage this evening. I heard Mark Scott saying big game as well. Wolves Leicester at the weekend. Aston Villa host Brentford Sunday 2 o'clock kickoff, and that game will be in full for you on Radio 5 Sports Extra. Harvey Barnes picks up for Leicester wide on the left, turns away from a couple of Leeds players, plays back to Mendy in midfield. Back it comes into the Leicester half. Leicester in control of the game. Tielemans the skipper. Short pass to his right to Castagna, finds Pratt, tackled by Aronson for Leeds. Here's Cooper. Cooper plays to Adams as Ayoze Perez moves to the side of the field and gets ready to come on. Harrison with his right foot to Sinisterra. Marte, good tackle on Sinisterra, and out it goes for a throw into Leeds. Oh, that was a really good basketball style throw from Jesse Marsh. That belonged in the NBA. That he actually fired that back at Junior Firpo. Dennis Pratt's coming off. Ayoze Perez is coming on, and Brendan Rodgers joins the applause of all the Leicester fans inside the stadium for Dennis Pratt's performance this evening.
As he should. He's played really well, Dennis Pratt. He's so reliable. He's technically very good, but as I've mentioned earlier, what I've been impressed with is his running without the ball. He's running beyond his striker, creating spaces.
Somerville, edge of the Leicester area. Again, it's that final ball, it's the final touch, it's the final shot that is not working for Leeds. Plays it between 2 of his teammates, and Leicester clear for now. 20 minutes to go. Leicester 2, Leeds 0. Incessant Leicester singing in the background. Cooper with his right foot plays across to Llorente. Dewsbury Hall is with him, so Llorente turns, plays back to Meslier, calmly passes it out of his box. Llorente up towards Rodrigo. Rodrigo just lets that ball go under his right foot. Fast nearly fouled him, didn't quite. It's back to Danny Ward. He's thumped it high in the air. Cooper wins the header. Mendy onto it, side foots it forward to Daka, continues his run. The ball bounces inside the Leeds half. Leeds now have it. Lots of attacking players on the field. Up it goes here. Somerville plays the 1-2 with Sinisterra, and again that pass, the crucial one, goes wrong. Adams, better ball from him wide to the right. Rodrigo pops up on the right-hand side, cuts in. He's going to try one. Drives the shot right across the face of goal, nowhere near the target, and behind for a goal kick. Leon Osman.
Yeah, slices it, never troubling. Danny Ward in that goal, had better options ahead of him. It was a good attack from Leeds. They've been really pleasing on the eye, especially through the middle third of the field. They've got runners, they've got trickery, they drop the shoulder. Rodrigo cuts inside, he's got 5 players ahead of him, 4 of which are in the penalty area, and he tries a shot on the angle from distance and gets it all wrong. Just the decision making from Leeds United today hasn't been up to scratch.
Tielemans Lovely vision to find Castagna. Daka's made the run. The flag stays down for now. Barnes, now the flag goes up now. Daka gets into position, was about to play it. And then the assistant referee puts the flag up. So why does he put it up then before he's played the cross and the ball might end up in the back of the net?
Yeah, it was a strange decision. It was as if he just needed thinking time, and it's actually a closer decision.
That's close.
Just seeing it back than you'd care to admit to the assistant referee. And it's one of them, if he allows it to go that long, he might as well see the play out, or you flag early.
That's the point, isn't it? Exactly. That's why we keep going, in case he's got it wrong. It can be ruled out if it's a goal. Perez hits a shot, Cooper blocks it. Cooper, good defending. He was just backpedaling there, but keeping his eye on the ball at all times. 27 minutes gone in the second half. Christensen leaves the ball behind, keeps the move going for Leeds. Here's Tyler Adams in the centre circle, wants a run from Sinisterra. Good first touch from Sinisterra. Runs at Castagna, edge of the box, sort of loses the ball under his feet there. Castagna clears with his right foot. Dewsbury Hall lets it run across his body, getting away from Aronson. He's got a full handful of his shirt. Referee's trying to keep an eye on it. He's got away with it for the moment, Aronson, and Dewsbury Hall does good work for his team, although eventually the ball does go out for a Leeds throw.
Yeah, really good battling from Aronson. I mentioned him dropping into that position and it not being his forte to get about the pitch and win the ball back, but he's trying as hard as he can, tries to use every ounce of strength he had, and did eventually win that battle with Dewsbury Hall, although he did require a bit of help from a teammate.
Aronson, chip ball down the inside right channel. Rodrigo jumps, brings it down on his chest and is able to turn wide on the right. Rolls a pass back to Christensen. Christensen comes all the way back to Llorente. Still inside the Leicester half, across to Firpo. Sinisterra's there wide on the left, plays it back to Firpo. Firpo looking for that ball to Rodrigo on the edge of the box. Leicester deal with that easily, and Fass clears up towards the halfway line. Leeds have it again. Llorente, well, that's not going to find a teammate. That hopeful ball from the back, straight through to Danny Ward. More boos from the Leeds fans. Stephen Gerrard, obviously a manager under pressure after another Aston Villa defeat this evening, and Jesse Marsh, you have to say, will be the same. So such is the nature of the role of the manager in the Premier League. Doesn't really matter how long you're in the job. If your team's down there and in danger of going down, then you become under pressure. Daka's volleyed one forward with his right foot. Out it goes for a throw into Leeds. Joe Gelhardt, who's a very exciting young stocky striker for Leeds, is on. Sinisterra comes off.
Yeah, just in that last attack, Sinisterra just looking a bit tired, had the ball in a great position and looked like he was tired of thinking, decision making, didn't quite know what to do. So no surprise to see the introduction of Gelhardt, and what he does bring is a real goal scorer's instinct. I've seen him come through the youth and play, and he's a player that wants to score goals. Yes, he's pretty, but looking around this Leeds team, maybe Rodrigo and now maybe Gelhardt, the only two that really, you know, if the ball drops, are thinking about shooting, hitting it on a snapshot. Maybe that'll happen for them.
15 minutes to play, 5 Live, Sports Extra and BBC Sounds this evening. Leicester leading Leeds by 2-0. Tired looking legs out there. Saw this in the Brighton Forest game on Tuesday night as well. No surprise given the schedule they're all playing. Gelhardt is onto the ball, finds Harrison, edge of the box. Harrison jinks it inside, then turns, stumbles, will hit the shot, eventually closed down by Mendy. Shot is blocked and Leeds get the corner.
Again, best opportunities for both teams all night long have came when they've caught the opposition in possession of the ball, playing in bad areas, overplaying, dribbling, being overconfident, suddenly robbing them of the ball, and there's opportunity to get attacks in.
15 minutes to go. Leeds corner. Harrison and Aronson are the two who stand over it. It's going to come in from the left flank for Leeds. Harrison has his right arm in the air. Aronson runs over it. Harrison delivers. Fass heads it away to the edge of the box. Firpo thought Adams was coming towards it, then went for it, fouled James Justin. And again, that's kind of sign of a sort of tired mind a bit, that, Leon.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, both teams have put a lot of effort into tonight. The work rate's been great. I mean, I've not seen games this end-to-end for a long time this season. They've been competitive. Leeds haven't been able to match Leicester City at the top end of the field.
You could just see our colleague Chris Sutton being picked up by the television cameras, as is his former strike partner Alan Shearer. Chris went for one of his so Chris goes for, he's doing the predictions on the BBC Sport website this season, and he always chucks a rather bold one in there, just to sort of stir things up a little bit, and I think he might have gone for a 4-1 Leeds win here this evening. So the Leicester fans are going to be
well, you just look
over
at the stats though. We're seeing the stats on the board. Leeds have had 51% possession of the ball, but Leeds have had 11 shots to Leicester's 5, and yet Leicester are 2-0 up. Leeds have had efforts, they've got into some great positions, they've just lacked the cutting edge.
You're not defending Chris Sutton, are you now?
Not at all. I don't think I'd ever do that.
Nor would I. Free kick won by Leeds. Aronson fouled by Tielemans. 13 minutes to play in this second half. Leicester leading Leeds 2-0. Just seeing a replay of the challenge there, and I think the referee is probably quite justified in dishing out the yellow card to the Leicester skipper. In terms of the Premier League football coming your way on 5 Live and all our networks this weekend, 3 o'clock Saturday, Manchester City Brighton is our commentary. Chelsea Manchester United in full from 5:30, which is that 5 Live commentary slot this season. United very impressive against Tottenham last night. Wout Fast, what a great job he's done there for Leicester, winning a ball, keeping it, and playing a good pass to Perez on the right. He's tackled by Cooper, throwing for Leicester just on the halfway line.
Oh, the fans absolutely love that, as did Brendan Rodgers, who was currently clapping his new centre-half, because that was brilliant battle and play. Stepped in, won the ball off Gallart. Gallart tried to wrap it around, won it again, then Firpo came in, he battled the ball off him. Eventually he had 4 Leicester players all trying to take the ball off him before eventually finding a good pass. Really good play.
Throwing down the right from Castagna. Daka tries a fancy flick and doesn't make any contact with the ball. Leicester fans thought that went out for a throw as Cooper cleared, but the assistant referee was right on top of it and wasn't going to be swayed. Throwing for Leeds. So good they were second half against Arsenal when I saw them on Sunday, swarming all over them. Should have got something from the game. Oh, Llorente's turning himself into trouble here inside his own box, and Dewsbury Hall is chasing, and it's eventually gone behind for a corner to Leicester, and it's drifting away from Leeds, I will say.
I'm just repeating myself really, and Llorente just getting caught in possession inside his own penalty area and actually doing really well to only give away a corner kick. So, you know, the signs are there for Leeds United. You know, I don't see how that you can expect the Leeds United fans not to be getting frustrated. The team have come to play, they've had a couple of chances, but no matter how well you play, if you get caught in possession inside your own penalty area all night long, you come to lose games, and Leicester have took more advantage of that than Leeds have.
Leicester, as it stands, taking themselves off the bottom of the table. Their game away at Wolves on Sunday will be a commentary online via the BBC Sport website, as will Leeds' game actually on Sunday at 2 o'clock. That's Leeds Fulham. Southampton Arsenal is our 2 o'clock commentary on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Villa against Brentford on Radio 5 Sports Extra, also available on Sounds. And Tottenham Newcastle is the 4:30 commentary on Sunday. Dewsbury Hall still down, break in play. Full time in the Women's Champions League tonight. Have Chelsea got the win, John Southall? Dewsbury Hall, I think, took a bit of a whack in the face. His chiselled chin was receiving some treatment there, which reminds me, I've got an appointment with the dentist tomorrow, Leon. Chiselled chin, yeah. My chin is not chiselled. I never really enjoy those trips to the dentist. And he also had something shoved up his nose there, Dewsbury Hall, and looked in a little bit of pain. Mateusz Klich is going to come on for Leeds late on here. Corner for Leicester. Oh, good delivery. Headed away by Gelhardt. Header flicked back by Perez. 10 minutes to play. Leicester 2, Leeds 0. Leicester heading for only their second win of the season. All the details, all the reaction, all the debating points in that Football Daily podcast for you on the BBC Sounds app tomorrow. Firpo's coming off. First league start of the season for him, having had a knee injury in pre-season. Slowly been working his way back to full fitness. Not been a great night on his return for Leeds. They're trailing 2-0. They've got a throw on the left, and like we were saying actually sort of quite early in the second half, Leon, the game has has not had much rhythm, and that's actually suited Leicester because they've had the lead in the second half.
Yeah, whether the players have actually made more fouls or the referee's just been a little bit, what he's been prepared to allow has been a bit less. I'm not so sure. I think the referee has pulled the game up on an odd occasion where he could have let it flow, but that certainly suited Leicester already being 2-0 up.
Played a brilliant advantage though, didn't he, for the first goal, first half?
Oh, he did. He had a wonderful first half, the referee. It's a game of two halves though.
Mellier's long ball downfield, headed on by Christensen. Wout Faes doing a great job again for Leicester tonight. He's very quickly making himself very popular with the Leicester fans. The 24-year-old having joined from Ras this summer. Here's Adams for Leeds. Short ball to his right. Aronson on to Click. Click back to Adams. Time is running out for Leeds. Jesse Marsh looks on anxiously. Ball worked to the left to Harrison. Perez comes towards him. He's beaten Perez. Perez catches him. Down he goes. Referee was going to play the advantage, then stopped, and then doesn't want Harrison taking the free kick while the ball is moving. So Leeds are going to set themselves and go again with the set piece.
Yeah, again, that's one the referee could have allowed to play on. Harrison was trying to get back to his feet, still had possession of the ball. Leeds players up and beyond and in the penalty area waiting for the cross, but Leeds have got a good free kick in a pretty good area of the field. We've got pretty much every player inside that Leicester City penalty area bar the taker, and I think it's Somerville who's about 10 yards outside that Leicester City penalty area, so just good delivery is what they're asking for.
Jack Harrison takes 3 purposeful steps back from the ball. Christensen wants it at the far post. Aronson runs over it. Harrison curls it in, headed away. Now here is Somerville waiting for that, and that's a whip shot which just brushes the side netting. Got a touch on the way through though, and goes behind for a Leeds corner. Yeah,
he's holding his hands to his head as if it was close. It did take a touch. It gave it a lot more dip as it took a touch off. It looks like Castagna, and that is close. The angle he hit it from, brushing down the side of that Leicester City goal, closer than Ward would have liked, that's for sure.
Corner for Leeds. Harrison rolls it back to Click. Click curls the cross in from the right. Cooper's up, heads it over the bar. Danny Ward celebrates, clenching his fist and shouting, and then actually says to the ball boy, slow it down, I don't need the ball that quickly. 6 minutes to go. Jesse Marsh looks a little resigned on the side. Kelechi Iheanacho is about to come on.
He doesn't like time wasting, Jesse Marsh.
No, he does not.
Doesn't like time wasting.
That's a very good point. Fulham 3, Villa 0 earlier on in the Premier League this evening. And this fixture bringing to an end the midweek round of fixtures before we go again on Saturday. If you're a fantasy football manager, the Fantasy 606 podcast also available on the BBC Sounds app. Covered game week 13 as well, which is coming this weekend. If you want any of Chris Sutton or Statman Dave's advice, I've seen a few messages come up on the phone from Statman Dave. He's had a bit of a good evening because he's got Mitrovic as his captain.
See, I'm not sure I've had a good evening.
No.
Ali, and seeing as though I'm in Division 2, once you put me there, I've still got a lot of issues with that, I've got to be honest.
I know you have. You're more concerned about the fact that Chris and Dave and me can't get relegated from Division 1.
I just don't see the Super League power that you've got, I've got to be honest.
Throw in on the left for Leicester. Attacking position. And Somerville comes jogging back slowly for Leeds to give the ball to James Justin to try and get them to hurry up, but Leeds seem to have lost the belief. Throw in will be taken by Justin. Ball is held up by Iheanacho, who's on there now in his bright yellow boots, same as Justin actually. They've won another throw. Justin walks towards that touchline. So Leeds at home to Fulham this weekend. That's on Sunday, big game for them, and Iheanacho trying to turn. Christensen pokes a clearance away. Ball is played into the middle of the park. Castagna just gets there first. Pokes the ball to his right. Perez goes scampering back down the touchline. He's not kept that in. Throw in for Leeds on the left-hand side. Aronson is the one who goes rushing to collect the ball for Harrison. Harrison throws it down to Cooper. Iheanacho's got energy. Rushes in to close him down. Harrison under pressure. Cooper, low ball is okay, finds Adams. Adams chased here by Daka, turns away from trouble. Tielemans is there to continue the pressure for Leicester. Now Llorente Low pass to his right-hand side to Christensen. Ball down the line is blocked. He's giving it away. Chance for Leicester to kill it off here, but Dewsbury Hall cannot find Tielemans, and now Leeds will try and come on the counter. Aronson up towards Gelhardt. Gelhardt did well. Stretches to play a first-time pass to Harrison. Runs being made in the middle. Floated cross towards Click. Justin's there to cover it. Nods it behind for a late Leeds corner.
Yeah, it's just enticed Joel Ward, Danny Ward, just a touch to come out and try and claim that. Justin looking at his goalkeeper, realising he'd stop, knew he had to deal with it, heading it out for a corner kick, but it was a good break by Leeds, that good pacey break.
In front of those Leeds fans in that corner of the ground, diagonally opposite to us. Leeds attacking the goal away to our left, and we're in the 88th minute of the game, and they need 2 goals to try and get a point from this game. Harrison's delivery, in it comes Danny Ward, right underneath it. Flops gently onto the ball on the edge of his 6-yard box, and the clean sheet is still intact at this point.
That's the last 2 corners Leeds United have put right on top of the Leicester City goalkeeper. Nobody there to block him, nobody there to hamper his movements. He's just taken the easiest catches he can. If you're going to put the ball there, surely somebody's got to be in and around the goalkeeper.
Tielemans curling ball with his right foot. Perez controls. I think Dackel was offside as he tried to play it through to him. Overhit the pass anyway, and here it is with Meslier. Meslier all in orange, drops the ball at his feet, edge of the penalty area. It's going to be no wins in 7 for Leeds, having had 2 wins in the first 3 games this season. Click, floated ball forward. Fass is there for Leicester to win the header. Dewsbury Hall is onto it. Half-volleyed pass is lobbed down the left-hand side. Daka in a whole world of space to collect it. Iheanacho waiting in the middle. Dewsbury Hall making a great run forward. Tired legs, though, betray him there. He just runs into the ball and kicks it straight at Meslier, who immediately plays it out to Click. Click through the middle to Gelhardt. Tries to lay it off. Click's going to have to work hard to get that. Beaten to it by Perez. Perez's ball forward. Intercepted by Adams. 89th minute now. Still Leicester leading Leeds 2-0. Adams getting so frustrated with his teammates. He's holding both arms out as if to say, well, I've not got a pass here. There's no one moving for me.
Yeah, we just passed the ball forward. They've got players ahead of him. You're in the last minutes of the game. You're wanting players to come short when they're trying to go long. Just play the ball quicker.
Ball work to the right back Christensen. He's played it into the trouble. Justin's still got loads of energy for Leicester. Interception, starts to bring it forward. And Leicester have now won a free kick wide on that left-hand side. 6 goals in 6 league games for Harvey Barnes against Leeds. You kind of knew that was going to happen this evening. 90th minute now. Leicester leading 2-0. I think a lot of fans actually in the last 10 minutes or so trying to beat the traffic have felt that Leicester were comfortable, so away they go. James Justin taking his time over this free kick wide on the left-hand side. Chelsea's women 1-0 winners away to Paris Saint-Germain last night after Arsenal's fabulous 5-1 win away to Lyon the night before. Fulham beat Villa by 3-0 in the Premier League. And Arsenal's men beating PSV Eindhoven in the Europa League earlier on this evening. Robert Jones has the board in his hands. He's about to tell us how much added time we've got at the end of the game. Dispiriting night for Leeds. They play out from the back. Here's Cooper. Cooper to Click. Click first time ball back to Adams. Adams across his own half to Aronson. Christensen continues to make the run down the right. Lofted pass over the top. Danny Ward will get there first. Rodrigo chased it, but the pass is overhit. 4 minutes of added time at the end of this second half.
That pretty much sums it up for Leeds. That they've got runners going forward. Leicester are a little nervous defensively, and then when it actually comes down to it, either the quality with the final pass or the decision making at the top end of the field has just betrayed this Leeds United attack force. They've looked bright, they look sharp in possession. Just that all-important moment of the game.
Key chances for them came in the first half when they were 1-0 down. Sinisterra crashed one against the bar. Somerville missed one as well. Had they made it 1-1, who knows? Clicks curling ball over the top. Danny Ward's coming for that. Edge of his box, just beats Harrison to it. Gets a foot and smashes it into the stands. And out it goes for a throw into Leeds. Replacement ball thrown towards them. Leicester fans throw another ball back onto the field just to slow things down. Leeds will have to reset and go again. 1 minute of added time already played. So Leeds now need 2 goals in 3 minutes of football. If they don't score this evening, it'll be 1 goal in their last 4 games. Drew 0-0 against Villa. That was the game Sinisterra got sent off in. Lost 2-1 away to Palace. The goal came from Pascal Stroud. lost 1-0 at home to Arsenal. Patrick Bamford missed the penalty, and they did have some chances in the second half of that game. And losing 2-0 here. Rodrigo chasing. Amate wins the header. It might fall to Somerville. Somerville on the right. Finds Gelhardt. Gelhardt's flip. Back to Somerville. Here's Click. Goes for the lob curler. Danny Ward's got it covered. Leaps backwards. Pats the ball down to his feet. And it rolls gently in the 6-yard box. And the two centre-backs this time exchange a high five. Eventually Rodrigo runs towards Danny Ward to stop him counting the seconds down.
Yeah, again, nice play. Good little flick by Gelhardt. Somerville bright in possession, but ending up with what was one of the most comfortable saves Ward will make all season long. So just not quite there for Leeds. Bright signs, but that cutting edge has lacked them.
John Akers will head down and get the post-match reaction from the managers after the game. You'll hear that in the Football Daily podcast, available on the BBC Sounds app. Harrison's ball in. Oh, that nearly found Click, edge of the box. But again, story of Leeds night. Doesn't find a Leeds player. Danny Ward comes racing out. He's able to pick the ball up again, and we've got less than 2 minutes to play. Leicester 2, Leeds 0. So Brendan Rodgers and Jesse Marsh you'll hear from in that Football Daily podcast. Tomorrow morning Leicester will be off the bottom of the league, and they will go to Wolves on Sunday, which you'll be able to hear in full online. 2 o'clock kickoff Sunday afternoon. Wout Faes volleys the ball over his shoulder. Justin scuffs his clearance. It rolls to Christensen. Dewsbury Hall wins it off him. Dewsbury Hall sets off on a run down the left-hand side, chased by Somerville, knocks the ball out of play, then tries to prevent Leeds taking the throw by falling on it. Turns into a little bit of a rugby ruck over there, and eventually Tyler Adams wins the battle, and we've got a minute to go. Robin Koch's own goal in the 17th minute, after the referee played an excellent advantage. That came from a Pratt cross and a brilliantly worked goal. To see Harvey Barnes slot home is going to be the difference between the two teams in this game. Harrison pokes a ball past Tielemans, can't pick it up the other side. Leicester have it last minute of the game. Click in with a tackle. Ball goes out for a Leicester throw on the right, and Leicester quite happy to just watch that ball dribble away to the touchline. Castagna now ready to take the throw. Felt like a big one for both clubs, both managers tonight. Leicester are going to come away with the spoils. Here's Aronson, tackled inside his own half. Castagna plays it to Daka, back to Castagna. Tielemans sweeps the ball with his right foot to James Justin. Referee's had a quick look at the watch. Full-time whistle will blow any second. There we go. Leicester get their second win of what's been a very difficult season. They're off the bottom of the table. 2 first-half goals do the job. There were boos from Leeds fans at half-time. They've been drowned out, if there are any, on the full-time whistle by the cheers from the Leicester fans. But Leon Osman, that is no wins in 7 for Leeds. They can't stick the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, concerning for Leeds. Bright in possession. I think they take too many chances at the back, giving Leicester City opportunity to create chances against them. Not scoring enough at the top end, not making the right decisions at the top end of the field, not having the right quality in those crucial moments. But brightness within the rest of the play, but that's not good enough. That's not what wins your Premier League games. Huge result for Leicester City at home, a game they had to win, gets them off the bottom, takes the pressure off Brendan Rodgers' shoulders.
3rd clean sheet in a row at home for Leicester. They move to 8 points. That is now just 1 point behind Leeds. I think you can hear the boos from some of the Leeds fans there, and also 1 point behind Aston Villa, who had a bad night at Craven Cottage tonight. Been a good night for Leicester. They've beaten Leeds by 2 goals.